Yo, what is good, my fellow deadheads? Your overlord has returned with yet another Bleach Soul Resonance live stream. We may have some things going on a little bit later, but as of right now, we do know that Bleach is a for certain. And I basically haven't been grinding the game for the past few days. I've just been... Yes, you can hear me. I've just been playing... I've been doing my dailies and logging out of the game because I've just been trying to stockpile stamina and resources. Yo, it's been a minute. What's good, Hockey? Yeah, I'm chilling, bro. Like I said, man, I made that little video. I did a little video kind of what is it? Kind of reacting to a bunch of different anime trailers for stuff coming out this year, and then I just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth a little bit. It happens sometimes, man. I'm very much in tune with when I... Also, let me know if you cannot hear the music, by the way, guys. But I'm very much in tune with when I do feel like I am burning out. And I won't even say I felt like I was burning out. How do you say? It's before the burnout, there's the before the burnout, there's the stages to burnout. But if you pay attention, there's the stages when the stages to burnout start. Because the stages to burnout is a very long process. It's not just one day you're just okay, I'm cooked. It's over time, you commit to a certain workload, and then eventually it gets Hockey's still awake from. But eventually you kind of get to a point where you're just all right, I can feel that this is starting to become a little bit overbearing, and then you just kind of keep trying to push through it, right? And usually I would push through it and then get to that burnout point and then be going for months. But low key, I kind of got to that point where I feel maybe I'm getting there, and plus it was the holidays. I was yo, I deserve to kick it, I deserve to chill, enjoy myself for the holidays. But I've still been playing Bleach nonetheless. My account is still clean. I had the strangest fucking dream, actually. And of course, sweaty dreams, I don't know. I had a dream that I upgrade. There was one thing that I was missing on Aizen, and I upgraded that one thing, or it was something wasn't equipped to Aizen, and I equipped that one thing to Aizen, and in my dream, this man jumped from 80 or 67k to 87k power, and I was the number one in the server. And I'm not saying this is some big oh my god, no, I'm just saying dead ass. I know it was a dream because I remember doing this, but obviously I didn't do it because my Aizen is still number 6 in the server. So I had a dream, I guess, about being the top Aizen in the server again. I don't fucking know, but yeah, weird dream. Anyway, I guess that shows how much I like to play Bleach. I am ready for the new 1000-Year Blood War core to start, so I can finally. I don't know if I want to restart 1000-Year Blood War or if I want to restart Bleach altogether and get there. Man, glad you're back. Just gotta pace yourself, bro. As much as I enjoy your content, there's no content without its creator. My man, he understands, bro. And plus, I have been working towards something really big, and I was supposed to do it in January, but we just kind of poorly planned for it. So when January came around, we were looking at each other during Christmas time, the people I'm supposed to be doing it with, and we looked at each other during Christmas time. We were damn, bro, we're not prepped at all. So I just need to take some time to kind of step back and actually plan it out a little more. But we have more solid steps to what we're gonna do this time. So it's definitely gonna happen. Got some big things going on in March, man, and I'm excited, dude. But yeah, for now, that doesn't mean I can't farm some dailies up on Bleach for sure. And I may even use some of this stamina. It looks like maybe I haven't been playing the game because of how much stamina I have, or how much excess stamina, or no, just stamina in general. How much stamina I have, because I have 413 here and I have 507 here. But I have been playing the game. I've just been doing a lot of game modes that don't require stamina. And basically, once I got Gin to what I can get him maxed out at right now, because I'm not spending any more currency to summon for Gin anymore, right? Once I got Gin to a point where he was level 100, his weapon was level 100, and his skills were all max level, I was kind of just sitting there I don't even know who I want to work on next, because there are a few characters that I could work on, but at the same time, I'm kind of we're going to get Rangiku soon, and I would like to work on Rangiku so I can use her as a support on the thrust team, and then that way I can use Urahara on the actual slash team where he's meant to be, because if we're looking at any of my teams that are lacking the most, it is the slash team, because my Bankai Ichigo does not have his weapon stamp. Man, I just wish I noticed that the pity for weapon stamps were 40 instead of 80, because I would have had his weapon stamp, and this would not be a fucking problem. But since I was not paying attention, it is what it is. I am where I am now. So I have to do every little thing I can around Ichigo to try to make him stronger. And I even use Shika Ichigo sometimes. You'll see my Shika Ichigo is also level 90. His weapon is level 90. And honestly, I did all this before. Oh, and all his skills are maxed too. That's actually pretty insane. But shush. Slash team is suffering? Yeah, my slash team is absolutely suffering. Dude, also chat, I just cooked when I got home from work. And I'll be honest with you, bro. I was a bit impressed with myself. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna say I was highly impressed with myself because I won't say I can make what I made even better. I mean, I can. Obviously, you can always improve. But it's like I've made other things before much easier, and they were more enjoyable. Like I can make, I pretty much made myself some rice, some green beans, some steak, and then I made two eggs over easy. I get sunny side up eggs, and then I just like put them on top because I love eggs and I love like the egg yolk on top of everything. It's so damn good. But yeah, no, that shit was great. Like I tasted everything individually, and I was like, yo, this steak is actually like pretty fucking insane. This rice was really like the rice, dude. I have this special like chili oil or chilies fried in oil is what it's called, but it's like a jar. And I mixed the chili fried in oil in the rice because I like spicy rice. I don't know, and it was that rice was it was there, man. It was there. But let's see what we got today. I think I did Guild Boss already today. I think so. It's weird. I try to save content to do for the stream, but then I also kind of work through the content already. I have been doing. Let's see. I love that they finally updated Unknown Adventure. And I remember the first day I did Unknown Adventure, I only made it to floor 19 in Swift mode. And then I remember the person who was first place, of course, is Dummy, bro. Dummy is a demon, bro. It's always fucking Dummy, bro. Oh, you can't even see the team I don't like that. You can't see the team they use. But anyway, when I first checked this, the top team or the top player was at floor 24. And then I did it today, and I got to floor 23. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll be second place. Of fucking course not. Or I beat floor 24, actually. And of course not. I'm not at second place. I'm at 19th place because so many more people are actually doing the game mode now. For a second, I thought that said that player was level 79. I was going to say, yo, I don't know how much stamina you've been spending, but you need to calm down. But also, guys, I'm kind of back to my regular scheme of summoning for a character until I get one copy of them, summoning for their weapon until I get one copy, and then buying the core stamp. So, as of right now, I do have Geen, I have his core stamp, and I have his weapon stamp, all, no dupes, but I do have them all because at any point in the future, they could introduce a banner that finally does have multiple non-standard banner SSRs on it. And at the moment, yeah, I'm looking pretty good. I already have, this is like 3 summons? Because the summon is 1600, and 1600 times 3 is 4800, so that's 3 summons, and then that's like 3 more summons. So I'm at 6 summons for the next character, almost a full multi for the weapon stamp, so I'm already getting to that point where I'm going to be overstacked for the next character, because I just don't like to splurge on every character. Aizen was like kind of like a special case. I use Aizen every freaking where, but yeah, other than that, I've been pretty chill, and I've been kind of like in that grind mode, so that's why I haven't really been doing like content that much. I've just been grinding, like literally. I do not do many interesting things. I turn the game on, I grind my shit up, I plan what I'm going to grind the next day, turn it off. But here we are. I also should have some friends joining me a little bit later tonight. Don't know how long it's going to take them to get back, to their PCs, but if they do get back to their PCs, we should be live with them playing some Smite too. I love playing me some Smite, or I don't really like playing Smite, or no. I like to play Smite 1, and then they made Smite 2. Smite 2 is a fucking mess. It's not balanced at all because it's a fucking beta. And it's been in beta for like how long now? Maybe like a year, maybe even a year and a half, I don't know. But basically the problem with Smite 2 is they released Smite 2, and then out of the 130 gods, because that's how it's like League of Legends basically, it's a MOBA. But instead of champions, it's gods. Because they're literally gods from different mythologies, pantheons, right? In Smite 2, what they did was they put like a very small kit of gods in the game, like probably like less than like 40 gods in the game, when the original game had 130 gods. The problem with that is they're literally just re-releasing old gods when they already have like the kits for the gods. And I know they add like new stuff to the gods and shit, but like they literally do that retroactively after they add gods into the game. So it's kind of like, why are you even like doing this right now? Just drop the game with the original, and is from Unreal Engine 3 or 4, I can't remember, to Unreal Engine 5. I know you cannot just translate all those things directly into Unreal Engine 5, and that's like from a software perspective. Whenever there's an updated version of like a software or something like that, sometimes you cannot just directly copy and paste translate things up to the new version, because some old, I guess, code that would have worked in the older version doesn't work in the newer version. So they're working through the guides and they're releasing them very, very slowly. But either way, man, it is what it is. We're working with it. But yeah, let's talk about Bleach, man. That's what we're here for. Okay, I do want to do my last Swift mode run today. Never played it, but I've seen it on Twitch. Seems cool though. It's fun, I guess. It's toxic. It's toxic as shit. And when you're good at it and you shit on the enemy team, that's when it's fun. But when you're losing, it's insane. Like I have two homies I play with usually, and obviously I have other homies that play it too. But it's just like there's like a usual three, including me. There's a usual three that play, right? And we are a bit evil at the game, if I can say so. Like, we are hyper aggressive in that fucking game, dude. Fun time, not for the enemy team. But yeah, we're super freaking aggressive. Like, pretty much it's kind of like a tower system where, like, you have to destroy a tower, then you have to destroy a phoenix, and then you have to destroy the enemy's, like, titan. And the titan is what it's kind of like, Gekishin is not based off of this game, but, like, it's just based off the genre of games. Gekishin is like a super rapid fire MOBA, and that's why I don't like Gekishin Squadra. I played Gekishin Squadra twice. That's the Dragon Ball Z MOBA. I played that shit twice, and I'm like, I had one really bad game, I had one really good game, and then maybe I played it 3 times. Maybe they convinced me to play one more time, and I was like, yo, this game is just ass, dude. Like, I like Smite specifically because I don't like League of Legends though. Just to put that on the board, I do not like League of Legends. But that's because League of Legends is like bird eye view, and you have to click everywhere with your mouse. I like games where you move with your keyboard and interact with stuff with your mouse, and Smite is that kind of game. So it's just like, I usually choose squad 11, so I was like co-op. It's not even squad. I usually choose squad 11 for this, but I realized for the infinite battle mode, it feels like you want to do like the combo one, maybe, because I feel like you're gonna maintain combos much easier than you're gonna maintain like even when you get a crit in the higher levels of this game mode. Oh, dude, I meant to switch my team to freaking Momo, Aizen, and Urahara, because Gein's damage is good, but Aizen's damage is just so much better that it will be better to just have 2 buffers around him. But yeah, besides the point, I'm going all over the place right now. I'm just scatterbrained at the moment. I got off work, man. I relaxed a little bit. I ate my dinner, and I just watched a little bit of YouTube videos, and now I'm just kind of vibing out for the night. Like, I don't know that I'm doing anything tomorrow because I usually play soccer on Tuesdays and Sundays, or sometimes in the week, Tuesday or Sunday. And we might not even be able to play soccer tomorrow because apparently we're supposed to be getting like snowy rain or some shit tomorrow, which honestly, I would be down to play in snowy rain. But the problem is, one of the homies that I play soccer with, he lives like 35 minutes away, and I don't want this man to endanger himself just so we can play soccer, because the soccer field is closer to me. I never trust a sedan in the snow, but I'll trust an SUV or something like that. But yes, I don't like League of Legends because it's bird eye view and you click everywhere with the mouse to move around. Whereas in Smite, you move with your keyboard and you click with your mouse to attack and like cancel things and interact in general, right? But it's just like Squadra again is just too fast paced. Like an average game of like Smite, even if you're absolutely dogging the enemy team, is like, or no. A fast game of Smite, that's better. A fast game of Smite is like 10 minutes. An average game of Smite, probably around like 15 minutes, 20 minutes if it's evil. And then you can have those games where it's like absolutely annoying, absolutely toxic, and you're freaking increases the attack range of co-op skill by 100% and its duration by 2 seconds. Releases a co-op skill granting 1% of co-op skill energy for every 5 hits in the combo. Releasing a co-op skill grants 30% of co-op skill energy but reduces co-op skill damage. Fuck no. We'll do this one. But yeah, a long game is like 30 minutes plus, I would say. And that's not even like... in League, I think the main game mode is... I don't know what it's called. But it's like 3 lanes. You have a tower in each lane, and there's 5 people on the team. Which I just don't like how those numbers are split up in general, because it's like it's not even like everybody's in a lane. It's like 2 people are in the bottom lane, 2 people are in the top lane, and then 1 person is just like jumping in between the lanes and shit. And I'm just like, that's called the jungler. That's why I do not play the jungle, because I'm just like, yo, I have no idea what the like cadence to like jumping from side to side and helping everybody. Like you have to help everybody pretty much if you play the jungle. And I just can't conceptualize that shit. But I don't even play that game mode in Smite, because there is a game mode like that in Smite called Conquest. But yeah, we do not play that game mode. We play Joust, which is 3 people, 1 lane. So it's pretty much team deathmatch with objectives. Pretty much. The team who gets more kills ends up with more resources, ends up upgrading faster, ends up washing the other team. But eventually the teams will like get to a certain point where they equalize, because there's like a max level cap. I don't know if it's like that in every single game, but I feel like it is maybe like that in every single game. But like the problem with Squadra is I feel like a long game of Squadra would be like 15 minutes or something like that. And you can tell me I'm wrong. Like I said, I've only played the game like 3 times. But I played Piccolo in Squadra, if I do pick up Squadra. And he's like an attack unit, and I've had games where I've absolutely ousted the enemy team. I've had games where I've gotten absolutely ousted by the enemy team. But either way, it just doesn't feel the same. It feels like Dragon Ball Z in general is just about motherfuckers fighting. All of the story progression points are literally like, yo, this stronger guy showed up, let's kick this guy's ass. That is kind of how the story progresses in Dragon Ball Z. Because you look at the Saiyan Saga, Vegeta pulls up. And I guess you could say that for Shonen in general, because Dragon Ball Z kind of like is one of the like goats, right? And I will never take that away from Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is one of the OGs, but at the same time, I feel like his storytelling is a little bit weak at points. And it's just like, ooh, no, let's not do that. Let's do this one. His storytelling can be pretty weak at certain points. Which one do I want to do? I do this, I guess. Yes. The storytelling can be kind of weak at points, and it literally the story just devolves into like, this guy's stronger, let's kick this guy's ass. Or like, even when there is extra story implications, at the end of the day, Goku's just kind of sitting there like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just enjoying fighting you for real. And it always kind of turns back to that, where it feels like other shows have characters, you know, fighting for a reason. Goku just be scrapping to scrap, bro, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I just need everybody to stop acting like it's the greatest thing since sliced fucking bread. I just need it. I just need them to stop, please. But either way, that's just kind of like what Dragon Ball Z games are. They're just like fighting games. My favorite Dragon Ball Z game is probably Kakarot, because it's like RPG, and I love the way that you follow the story as the character in the state they were in at that moment. Which every Dragon Ball Z game is like that. But like, there's actually also little extra activities and everything that make it feel like you're in the Dragon Ball Z universe, versus it just being like, we're just fighting and like little stuff happens in between and we hear about it. Like, no, you actually do the little stuff in between. So I do appreciate that from Kakarot. And also that Kakarot got a Daima DLC. Bro, I didn't even watch Daima. I am literally probably one of the least hyped people on this planet for Daima. I do not care about Daima. But also, I will say, Akira Toriyama is not great at making, what do I want to say? He is not great at concluding stories in a short form fashion. What I mean by that, all of the Dragon Ball Z series are 100 plus episodes. No, GT's like 60 something episodes, I think. How many episodes? Let me look that up real quick before I go blabbing nonsense. Actually, I don't even need to use my phone. I can just use my computer because I have an extra screen. Duh. Let's see. How many episodes in Dragon Ball? I think Dragon Ball is 132 episodes. 153, I'm sorry. Dragon Ball Z is 291 episodes. And then Dragon Ball GT, which he didn't even write really, is 64 episodes. But somebody else wrote that shit. And even still, 64 episodes is a decent enough amount. For the standards of anime nowadays, it's a decent enough amount. And then Dragon Ball Super was 131 episodes. So when you look at this man's track record, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this man be making the most prolific story experience. Like, no, that's not fucking real. Let's be real, bro. This man can't do this shit in like 20 episodes. How many episodes was Daima? Like 20 episodes, bro? I already knew that shit was gonna flop, bro. I already knew that shit was not gonna be like some story-driven masterpiece or some shit like that. And you can say Dragon Ball Z is about, you know, the transformations and the fighting and shit like that. But it's just kind of like, are you gonna let that? Are you gonna give that a pass now at this point? Because Dragon Ball Super was newer, right? So are you gonna give Dragon Ball Super a pass for sticking to the old Dragon Ball Z code? Or are you gonna fairly critique it and understand that even though something came from an older time, it is still allowed to evolve and change and adapt with the times now? I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Daima, in my opinion, and I didn't watch it, I could be wrong, but Daima, in my opinion, bro, it feels like it feels like they didn't claim GT as fucking canon. They didn't claim GT as their child, right? Then they made GT again and changed the setting. So instead of it being GT, it was more Super-esque, right? So they pretty much made GT, mixed it with Super, and then made Super Saiyan fucking 4 anyway. That's what Daima feels like to me. And I didn't even watch that shit. I see clips about that shit. I hear people talk about that shit. I'm just like, at that point you should have just helped with GT, bro. You should have just helped with GT. And no disrespect to the GOAT, rest in peace, my man. But still, bro, Daima's not that crazy. Daima's not that crazy, bro. Kid Super Saiyan 4 looks goofy. Adult Super Saiyan 4 looks kind of goofy in Daima as well, because Super Saiyan 4 and GT looked better in my opinion. A better contrast of colors in his fit. We not here to knock Dragon Ball Z much longer. I always like, I feel like I always fall off of Dokkan, and then I always like come back around during the anniversary. But I'm trying to prescribe the idea to myself, like, don't even play during the anniversary, because as soon as the anniversary is done, or if you do not get the anniversary characters, you're gonna not give a fuck all over again. So what's the point of playing in the first place? So I'm trying to put Dokkan down. It's just like, it's kind of hard to put something down that I sound like a drug addict. It's kind of hard to put a game down when you've been playing that shit for like 10 years. Not 10 years. Yeah, basically 10 years, because it's about to be his 11th anniversary. Or rather, for the full time I've been playing, at the very least, I have been playing for 10 years now. But yeah, I'm over it, man. I'm over it. But yeah, I don't know that I'm going to try to push this as far as I can, because I didn't even put the team in that I wanted to use. I might just quit this after this run right here, just to grind some other stuff, because this team I used earlier, and it literally only made it to floor 24. Or made it to floor 25, but did not win. I don't know what the fuck I was ranting about, chat, but rant successful, I guess. But yeah, I don't even know who the next character is supposed to be for Bleach. I mean, I suppose nobody knows who the next character is for Bleach, but just talking about some new things that were incorporated into Bleach while I was gone. I do 1,000,000,000% love the fact now that instead of it being a character every 2 weeks, it's a character every 3 weeks. Some people might hate that, and some people might like the fast pace, like, oh, I want 2 characters every month. But I'll be honest with you, I've played enough games at this point that have done the 2 characters a month. It does get old fast, because especially if you're a collector, you don't want to like, bro, this game is actually really freaking incredible. If you look at the stuff you can buy per celebration, right? The new bundles that come whenever a new celebration comes out. Also, if you guys are enjoying the stream, you can go down and leave a like on the stream. If you guys look at the celebrations, every celebration that comes out, actually, the bundles for that celebration specifically, let's see. Because you cannot link the battle pass to celebrations, because there's 1 battle pass a month and there's 2 celebrations still a month, right? Even though a celebration goes on for 3 weeks now instead of 2 weeks, the battle pass still usually is once a month. So you usually have 1 battle pass during 2 celebrations, right? So you can't even consider the battle pass as a part of the celebration cost, right? If you want to buy all the bundles from the celebration, and I'm not talking about the weekly bundles, I'm not talking about the battle pass, I'm not talking about the top up, none of that. I'm just talking about the bundles that come with the characters, and the fact that you can purchase the the core stamp, right? And then also every celebration kind of has this thing where you can get like an extra kind of like either an extra little daily reward type of thing, or like a line of rewards. Like, for instance, the Aizen celebration and the Hitsugai celebration, I believe, had something in each one of those celebrations on like the last week of the celebration where you could pay for it and you could get the rewards for that stuff over the course of a week, right? This celebration has something where it's like This first thing is free. The second thing costs money. The third thing is free. The fourth thing costs, or every even number thing costs money. Every odd number thing is free, right? So was that 15 million damage? Oh my gosh. But those are usually pretty cheap. I would say anywhere from like $7 to like $25, I guess, could be the range of how much that stuff costs, right? That's not a bad price. When you consider that everything else you're paying for, I feel like they got the right formula for making people spend. I've been buying everything because it's small increments, but eventually it adds up. It does add up eventually, but I was talking to somebody about this with computers the other day. I was talking about how right now there's like a silicone shortage, so RAM is like, okay, if anybody knows anything about PCs, when you used to build a PC, you could pretty much assume that your graphics card was going to be half the cost of the PC if you got a good graphics card. And then you could assume, by the way, how are you doing, Madrid? I didn't say how are you doing to anybody. I just kind of started yapping. How are you doing, Shogun227? How are you doing, Hockey Kage? I did say how you doing to hockey. And then how are you doing, Madrista JP? How are y'all doing? I appreciate y'all for being here. But if you know anything about computers, usually you would assume that your graphics card is going to be half the price of your computer if you're getting a good graphics card. You can get a processor for basically like a third or a quarter of the price of your computer, and then everything else is pretty like inexpensive, I would say. Now, the way that it is, your graphics card is basically half your computer. Your processor is basically a third of your computer. Is leaning more towards the third of your computer versus 25% of your computer cost range, and then your RAM all of a sudden is like a third of your cost of your computer as well, which is fucking insane. That math doesn't even fucking add up. But you know what I mean, right? Like, your RAM is just really expensive now, and it's insane, I'll be honest with you. But basically, I want to get a new computer. I want to build a new computer. Joel, I'm good, bro. Happy you back playing the game. I mean, I've still been playing the game. I'm just back making content. But I know what you mean, bro. But basically, now that computers cost so much, or now the individual components cost so much, like who knows what next component is going to go up in price. Basically with a computer now, it used to be you could buy all the parts individually because computer part warranties last for a very long time, like usually like 3 years at a base, right? So you used to be able to buy your computer parts one at a time and then freaking price it out. Yo, Slug, what's good with you, bro? You used to be able to price your parts out and buy them one at a time, so you could be like, all right, this week I'll get this part. This week I'll get this part, right? You can keep kind of following that path. That's kind of how the spending is in Bleach Soul Resonance. But now, since the computer prices are jacked up on like, not all the parts, but like the main components, right? Since the prices are so jacked up now, and even motherboards cost really a fucking lot too, because your motherboard is where everything communicates. Like, it's basically the spine of your system. Now that everything costs so much, now it's more cost effective to buy like a pre-built system, unless you're like finding parts on Facebook Market. But I can't front of you, not every single part for a computer you can buy on Facebook Market. So not even really cost effective, because it could end up costing you more money in the long run, right? But now it's more cost effective to buy like a pre-built system. And obviously a pre-built system costs way more than buying it costs the same amount basically as buying the parts over time, but at least when it's incremental, you can spend the money, recuperate the money, spend the money, recuperate the money, versus buying a whole system is just spend a fuck ton of money and then just grind to recuperate that money, right? But this is Bleach versus other gacha games. Other gacha games want you to spend a fuck ton of money for like a little bit, and I'm not saying just buying a whole computer is a little bit, that's a lot, but I'm just like, other gacha games want you to spend a fuck ton of money, and then you have to wait way longer before you purchase the next thing in the game. If you're financially conscious, you have to wait way longer to purchase the next thing in the game. Versus Bleach, everything is like boom, little bit here, boom, little bit here, boom, little bit here. I just want to show y'all something. I always talk about this, but like, you see this page is sold out. Why is this page sold out? Because this page is highly valuable. Now, this kind of defeats my purpose I just made, because I do usually buy all this stuff in one sitting. But even if you purchase all this in one sitting, love the vibe here, just grinding these gachas. What you on, brother? I'm chilling, bro. I'm grinding some Bleach. I'm gonna play some Smite later. I'm gonna be honest with you, Slug. That day I popped in your stream and I chatted with you, and I was like, yo, you're making me want to play Smite because you were playing Pokemon Unite. That shit had me kind of like, yo, low-key, people don't even be in here watching when I play Smite, but I'm still trying to stream that shit, because it's a spectacle, bro. We either be shitting on people on the enemy team, or we're getting absolutely clapped. But either way, it's a fun time, and at least it's a fun viewing experience, I feel like, if somebody else were watching. But these boxes right here, bro, like, when I'm playing Grand Cross, dog, it costs what? For 65 tickets and then 102 diamonds, so 3 summons from the diamonds, 6 summons from the tickets. That's 9 summons and then a little bit of change, basically, on Grand Cross. That costs you $80 to get not even a full 1/3 of the way through the banner. Versus, I spent $65 in Bleach, and I'm damn near I'm halfway through the ticket banner, and I'm over halfway through the character. Or no, I'm sorry. This is 40 tickets, or 20 tickets, 20 tickets for characters, and then 20 tickets for stamps, right? That's halfway through each one of the banners. Not to mention, these all give you stamina. Not to mention, these give you paid gems, which you can go back and use over again in these sections of the game to get more regular gems and extra currency on top. So it's like, no matter how you look at it in Bleach, all the bundles you purchase are just so valuable because you can just kind of like, I call it a double dip. It's not really a double dip, but I love it, bro. Play what we want is the true end goal, for real, for real. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, that's... Y'all know, bro. I can't front of you, but I have been... I don't know if I can't say that I've been, like, working a lot. Or actually, I have been kind of working a lot because it's been kind of slow at my restaurant because... Well, not only that. It's been slow at the restaurant because it's the start of the year. And also, it's been a little bit... It's been kind of like... We have so many people who come back from school, and instead of my manager being like, yeah, nah, bro, I can't help you out, my manager pretty much says yes to every fucking body. And it's like, yeah, you can come work, but then everybody's got a very small amount of shifts in the week. So, like, that's just kind of how it's been. So, I've been doing that, but I've also been picking up shifts at another location. So, low-key, less shifts at my main spot, but, like, more shifts in general because I've been between 2 places. And, you know, the 2 places don't call each other and be like, yo, how many days has this man worked over here? We don't want to overwork this man. They don't give a shit about that. We're in America, bro. They do not care about how much you fucking worked. They said, hey, bro, you're dying. Could you clock in real quick before you die, though, so we can get that last little bit out of you? That's how it works here. So I have been, like, kind of spread thin between seeing people for the holidays or going to the gym or trying to start my gym schedule back up again and going to work and just trying to improve many different facets of my life. But, yo, I can't front of you, chat. The Dead Man is close to a breakthrough. Also, the Battle Pass did reset. I haven't bought it yet, but I will buy it eventually. Okay. We just did the last Swift mode run that we needed to do. Now I'm going to do nothing here. I'm going to do... Oh, Ging. I still have a few missions I have to do for Void and Destruction. Or Form of Void. Yo, I'm not going to lie to you, chat. Getting 1 million points in Form of Void was absolute CBT. I'm not going to say what that means. Haha, facts. These businesses do not care about us. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's why if you really want to be free in life, you got to start your own business. For real, for real. Oh, no. I'm not going to put that on. So I'm just going to do these missions real quick and get the rest of these rewards. Put on these mechanics. And then let's hit it. I forgot. You got to actually do this yourself. Let me grab my controller. Yo, Light, what's good? I'm chilling, bro. We just got some Bleach going. I'm just vibing out, man. Like, I feel like I was just like, I don't know, man. Like, obviously you want to try to put your effort into your content. Yes. But it's like, I just be vibing in general. How much effort do I have to put into chill vibes? You know what I'm saying? I just, like I said, I be vibing in general. So it's just like, I'm going to just pop out, you know, do what I do, play my games, man. That's all I can do, bro. You thought you had me, you sick fuck. Yo, I hate this fight so much, bro. Haven't seen you stream in a solid minute. Miss him. Yeah, I streamed yesterday, but it was only for an hour. Literally, bro, I started streaming, and I got a knock on my door. The Eisen power level is crazy. Yeah, a little bit. I'm actually number 6 on my server. But I streamed yesterday for an hour, and then I literally got a knock on my door, and I was like, all right, we got to go do this. And I was like, okay. And then I literally came back, and I was like, yeah, chat, surprise, surprise. I got to go. But, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, and here I am. I had to work this morning. I would have streamed this morning, but I had to work this morning. And honestly, I can hit them really early streams in the morning, but like low-key, I don't know, man. Like, I like to do a lot of stuff in the morning when I wake up, but at the same time, I understand that is another thing that can overwhelm me in life. Like, even though it doesn't feel like on the surface it's overwhelming me, that doesn't mean it's not overwhelming you, right? There is such a thing as being in denial, right? So, I think that the things were definitely overwhelming me a little bit, but I was just not willing to admit that. Okay, he's setting his shit up. Yeah, get your ass on the ground so I can hit you with this. Koto Hitsuji. There we go. I think that's how you say it. But Hado number 90. Anyway, but yeah, man, like I feel like I used to have like a pretty psychotic like schedule of wake up at 1, 2 a.m., go to the gym, get a crazy pump, come back home, go to bed at 7 p.m. And it's just like, you also have to think about this from a perspective of like, yo, I'm 26, bro, and I like to kick it, I like to chill, I like to hang out with people. Like, in your 20s, I feel like it's definitely a time for you to grind, but I feel like also in your 20s, right? Because when you're really young, you're kind of figuring out who you are. When you're really old, you kind of know who you are, and you don't like to waste your time meeting new people and shit like that. You kind of just keep the what is the word I'm looking for? You kind of keep the community of people that you already certified know you like fuck with, right? So it's like I'm 26, man. I'm halfway through my 20s, or a little over halfway through my 20s now, and I'm just like, bro, like, this is certainly a time for me to like socialize and shit like that. And I feel like even though I was telling myself I was willing to sacrifice, the social aspects of my life and just grind, like, that's just not real, bro. Like, I'm somebody, I don't know if you can tell, chat, but I am somebody who is very excellent at talking to people and making friends and shit like that. My mom literally was saying that to me yesterday because I was helping her out. With some stuff, and literally, I'm just like, yo, like, I'm naturally good at talking to people. I'm naturally good at making new friends and shit. And it's kind of like how somebody says if you don't use one of your talents, that shit will go to waste. Like, literally, bro, I am very, like, when it comes to talking to people and getting my point across and proliferating the things I mean and just like, enunciating my point to people, I'm very, like, talented at that. So it's like, it would be a waste not to go and socialize with people and mingle with people and meet new people too, because I think the world is a classroom and I like meeting new people and experiencing new things, right? So it's just like, it definitely would be a waste for me to like lock myself in my house for all of my 20s, and then by the time I'm in my 30s, I'm just kind of like looking around like, damn, I don't have any friends. Like, fuck that. And I'm not saying I don't have any friends now. I got people that I hang out with, pretty frequently, but even still, that doesn't mean I don't want to learn more about the world and shit. Like, bro, I've lived where I've lived. I've lived in the state I've lived in my entire life. I've never lived outside of the state I live in. And I've also I don't travel, or I didn't travel much when I was younger. And now, obviously traveling with your family is still traveling, but it's like, traveling with your family is traveling with your family and being the you that your family knows you as. But who you really are may not always be who your family knows you are, right? So it's like, I want an opportunity to go around and travel and see the places I want to see and be myself in those places, right? No filter for like, oh, this is like my aunts and uncles and grandma and all that, so I need to be like this level right now. Nah, I just want to be the dead man for real. I just want to be the dead man, bro. But yeah, man, since I'm in that position where I can make the decisions for myself, I'm gonna utilize that. I'm gonna utilize this time of my life as efficiently as I can, and I'm gonna go explore and see the world, bro. Is this game good, bro? I love this fucking game. I'll be honest with you, bro. I'll say this: the game is actually good, like, even from a gacha game standard. Like, or not even from, for a gacha game standard, the game is good. For an actual game standard as well, like, the game is really fun. The graphics are really nice. The gameplay is really smooth. I do love playing, but it's also kind of like, if you are a Bleach fan, first and foremost, this 1,000,000,000% scratches the itch that you have waiting for a new game. That is 100% real. Because I used to play Bleach Brave Souls, and I like Bleach Brave Souls. I almost said love, but I like Bleach Brave Souls. But one thing that I hate about Bleach Brave Souls is that all the characters are like chibi models, and I hate that shit. What I compare that to is like, I love Black Clover, and I have a bunch of Black Clover pop figures, but now I literally want to get rid of my Black Clover pop figures because it doesn't even look like the characters from Black Clover. Like, and that's what Bleach Brave Souls is kind of like to me. It's like if Bleach had a gacha game, but they made all the characters like pop figures, pretty much. And I hate that. So now I want to get rid of all my Funko Pops and start buying actual figures for my favorite characters, because that shit's just gonna look way better to me. And like, pop figures are cheap, they're inexpensive. Oh my gosh, she did this shit to me, bro. Yo, he is getting my ass right now. But I don't even care, bro. Like, I'm literally just here. Like, bro, I'm yapping right now. Y'all know I'm not locked in because I'm yapping hard. If I was locked in, bro, I'd be locked in. That's all I can say, chat. But yeah, Like, Bleach Brave Souls is like if this game existed, but it was like pop figures. The reason why I like this game so much is because this game feels like a reboot for Bleach Brave Souls, but they know that everybody playing the game has awareness of the 1,000-year... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. The 1,000-year Blood War arc. Come on, dude. I'm getting fucking washed right now, dude. I'll be honest with you. I'm getting washed right now. Don't worry about it, chat. It's cool. But... it's like they know everybody has an awareness of Bleach 1,000-year Blood War, so it's like they're not being scared to release all of this stuff, like, and just show off all this stuff. And also, I love the fact that the game kind of has like this, a Bleach 1,000-year Blood War aesthetic to it, even though we're in the very early parts of the game. And I just love that, man. Like, I just love Bleach, bro. Bleach is one of my like fucking OGs, bro. Out of the original big three of like, what was it, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach. This might sound like blasphemy, but Bleach was actually my favorite out of all those shows. Bleach is actually my favorite out of all those shows. Literally. Just has a darker vibe. I just like that shit way more, man. Damn, I was trying to do the charge up, but like this man is whooping my ass right now, so. I don't know what that last modifier I put on is, but this man Ukiora just hit the gas or some shit, bro. I am stuck over here. Wait a minute. Bro is kind of cooking my ass. This is worse than when I tried to get the 1,000,000-point run somehow. And the modifiers are way less. What the hell? Okay. My bad, yo. I'm missing some of these chats right now. I'm just trying to finish this mission up. And I low-key am just trying not to have a character die because, like, that would be embarrassing as shit. Okay, cool. Let's see. Is this game good? Hi, my wife told me every day how the hell she been with me for all these years. I feel you, brother. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's like you just, this is just the time. I'm at an age where it's just like time for me to like meet people and shit, bro. And like, also I feel like they say that a man, like, his prime is like in his like 30s, 35, I think is like the peak of like a man's prime or some shit like that. And even still though, like the ascent to your prime is still a hell of a time as a dude. So it's just like, bro, I'm evolving every day. Like, chat, I'll be honest with you, bro. I looked at my phone the other day, and I looked at my. I don't know. I don't keep hidden pictures in my. I have an iPhone. You can have like the hidden gallery in your iPhone, bro. I do not keep hidden photos, or so I thought. I literally looked at my like hidden photos, and there was only one in there, and it was literally like a weight progression picture that I took. Like, I don't know how long. Or let me see. I can see the time on it. This picture is from... That's insane. Dude, this picture is from exactly 2 years ago today. And bro, I was a blubbery motherfucker in that picture, bro. That's all I'll say. And I just say that because I was literally looking at myself in the mirror, like... Because I feel like after the holidays, my eating has been a little bit out of control. But low-key, every time I think my eating is out of control, that shit's been more controlled than I expected. And I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I was like, damn. And I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to shit on myself because I'm at least I'm aware of this. And that's better than most people. Most people don't even care how they look. So it's like, I'm still good because I'm still aware of this, and I still am willing to, like, work on it, right? But then I looked at that picture from, like, 2 years ago, and I was like, God damn, I was huge, bro. So I'm just like, bro, I still feel better. Like, you know, I don't feel the best every day, but I still physically feel much better than I used to back then. Like, I used to be sluggish, tired all the fucking time, bro. And I feel like I can go forever, like a lot more these days, bro. Also, if you guys are enjoying the stream, you can go down below and hit the like for the dead man. And you can also subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Let me see. Let me keep reading some chats here. Bleach Brave Souls is cool, but this game is more my vibe. Absolutely. I have seasonal characters from Bleach Brave Souls. I hope this game gets some fire skins like that Orihime one. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I saw that Orihime skin where Orihime was holding on to Ichigo's sword, and I was like, yo, you can hold my sword too. But we're gonna walk over that. Alright, cool. It was my favorite too growing up. Hell yeah. Yeah, this Bleach game is my favorite from all the other ones. Bleach is fire, but I'm a Naruto fan of art. I can feel that. I feel like a lot of people were exposed to Naruto first instead of Bleach. I feel like Naruto had a more marketable presence because even though Naruto is literally like kids pretty much killing grown-ass men because they're all ninjas and shit, Bleach just has a darker vibe in general. Like, you look at the first episode of Naruto, and it obviously Naruto is depressing too because the fact that Naruto doesn't have his family and he has to deal with the entire village reprimanding him for something that he has no control over, yes. But even still, Naruto is like a loud mouth, like, I'm gonna be the Hokage, believe it, you know? It feels like some kiddie shit, right? And even in One Piece, you have Luffy who's all smiles and giggles, and he's like, I'm gonna be the king of pirates. Cool. Then you have Bleach. You watch the first episode of fucking Bleach, and you see this man kicking some dude's ass for bullying, for knocking over a vase at this dead girl's, like, the spot where she died. And this man walks off and he's like, yeah, bro, ever since I can remember, I've seen dead people. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? The vibe was just different for Bleach, bro. And that's what set it apart for me when I was younger. Let me see. And I knew Bleach was fire because my homie, Diver Down, bro. My homie Diver Down. His older brother, when I met all of them, I remember his older brother thought anime was lame, but the only one anime he did watch was Bleach. And I was like, yo, that fucking says something, bro. The older brother is like, yo, I'm over that shit. But Bleach is still clean, though. That tells you something, bro. All right, let's see. And also, Bleach just has so much fucking sauce. The music in Bleach is excellent. The styling in Bleach is excellent. Like, bro, Bleach was one of those only animes where characters wore a different fit every day. Every day, bro. These motherfuckers, the characters in Bleach had their own fucking stylist. Like, what is that shit? Okay. Bleach is fire, but I'm a Naruto fan at heart. Naruto was my favorite as a kid, but when I got older, I started to like Bleach more. I loved Bleach as a kid. I feel like I just discovered Naruto first. Let's see. But I still like Naruto. Being aware, more than 90% of people, you good, bro. And then, damn, that's wild. Except exact day from 2 years ago. That's what I'm saying. I was like, what is this picture? And I looked at it, it was like 2 years ago. And I'm just like, yo, how far we have come. Because low-key, I remember that Vince. And that Vince was kind of like, not sad as in like, you know, like depressed type of, or maybe I was, I don't know, like depression is weird because when you're in it you don't notice it, but then after you experience it, you look at it and you're like, maybe I was, because like you kind of look at it, you kind of trace all the steps, you're like, yeah, I don't know that I cared about my life that much at that point, not to a degree where I felt like self-harm, but like it's kind of clear I didn't care because like I'm a very capable, handsome, intelligent young man. If I'm capable and intelligent, then I understand that the things that I do to myself now, younger, affect me when I'm older. And it's like, just to let myself go and be big like that, bro, it's like, I could have ended up on fucking My 600 Pound Life or some shit, but I was like, yeah, fuck that, bro. And now I'm to a point where, like, every time I feel like I'm getting close to that, like, edge, I'm just like, bro, I hate to say it, but I weigh in every fucking day. I try to stop myself from weighing in, because, like, sometimes I do let that dictate how my day goes, how I eat for the day sometimes, which not to an unhealthy amount. It's not like, oh, I'm 2 pounds over where I want to be, I'm going to starve myself all day. Like, no. If I ever don't eat for the day, I'm not starving myself. I actually do like to fast sometimes. Fasting is just what I desire sometimes, because sometimes I'm dead ass just not hungry. What's the big three now? I'll be honest with you, bro. I mean, if you want me to be, by all technicality, the big three would be the top three most. I say that the requirements for the top three of anime has to be, one, so popular everybody knows what it is, which everybody did not know what Bleach was back then. I feel like everybody kind of knew what Naruto was in One Piece, but like I said, those two are a lot more marketable. If I could give it to you clearly, Bleach felt like DC, One Piece and Naruto felt like Marvel. More kiddie, more attractive to younger people. Whereas Bleach was more serious, more gritty, and had bigger tones. Or more adult tones to it, right? But it's just like, I think the big three have to, one, be like recognized by, maybe not people who are outside of anime, but like, there are some shows where it's like I remember somebody told me what was it? When I was like 21 or 22 or something like that, I was talking about the big three and I was like, yo, it's Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. And then somebody that was like a few years older than me was like, nah, bro, those are your big three. My big three were Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z, and something else. And I was like, I don't even remember what the third show was. But I was like, damn, that's kind of fire. You said JJK, Demon Slayer, and JJK, Demon Slayer. I mean, I can't front of you. I'm not a super big fan of My Hero. It'll probably be My Hero. I don't know what it is. I feel like Black Clover is an excellent series, but for some reason people just love to deny that shit. Black Clover goes hard as fuck. Black Clover, the big three would be the most profit. That's what I was about to say. But then, like, if we pull up a list right now of the top 3 anime list, let me see. Top 3 selling manga. As of right now, the top 3, I mean, bro, at that point, you can't say most profitable because One Piece is still the most sold, like, manga in general. One Piece has sold 516.6 million fucking volumes. That's an approximation, but still. Also, what I want to say is, I will say though, One Piece is highly impressive because I remember I saw a statistic a very long time ago that said that One Piece was like the 3rd most sold print media behind Batman and Superman comics. I was like, yo, that's fucking insane. I feel like superhero stuff is probably more worldwide like accepted than Japanese like anime, right? And the way that I kind of use an indicator to show that is like if you look at, I don't know about Superman, but I remember like Batman has a lot of different variations where it's like Japanese, like anime-esque like styles. So I don't know if it's a Japanese animation studio doing it, but at the very least, there are people who have roots in Japanese art styles and stuff like that, or are highly inspired by it, who are trying to make Batman an anime style thing too, right? When I have not seen a lot of different animes get like how would an anime even get an English or global adaptation? You know what I'm saying? Like, how would you even do that? I don't know if that makes sense. That Chainsaw Man movie did some good numbers. Crazy enough, I still have not seen the Chainsaw Man movie, but I read Chainsaw Man. So I read it a long time ago though, and I stopped reading it because that shit turned into a fucking Michael Bay movie at a point, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Oh, I did the missions for that. Cool, because I can't stand that shit. I can't do more daily runs. I can't do the Dead Zone challenge. Oh, I gotta do the snapshot. Wait, what? Oh, I was about to say, where are the other ones? They're right here. They're right here. I'd imagine JJK will be up there. So many people love that. JJK, like, no matter how you try to cut it, JJK is 1,000,000,000% one of the big 3 now, because it's just so talked about and so discussed that like everybody knows what it is. Even people who don't watch anime, like, bro, I have a coworker. I mean, we're friends, but like, we work together at the restaurant, and she's like 9 years older than me. And one of her first anime that she started with, like, I put her on to different anime. I try to get her into Monster. I try to get her into a bunch of different shows. But like, I remember one day she pulled up on me, and she was like, her and her boyfriend just started watching JJK, and I was like, damn, you chose that to jump into first? Fucking goodness. I was like, yo, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, get ready. Don't get attached. But hey, it's fire though. But it's just like, bro, JJK is so controversial that somebody is always talking about that shit somewhere. And also, Gigi Akutami is a certified rage baiter. Aerial shot? Yes. Okay. And then maybe switch that angle up a little bit, like that. I think maybe like that. Is that an S? That is an S. But yeah, JJK is definitely one of the big 3. I remember somebody said that the big 3, yeah, even that Chozo Naruto fight is a huge meme at the moment, LMAO. Gojo carrying, he's mainstream like crazy. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Gojo, like, literally, the thing about JJK though is like, it's been a while since we've had a show that's like, not only is the story fire, also the mangaka themselves is a huge fucking troll, a huge fucking rage baiter, and he loves to piss off his audience. And not to mention, each one of the characters in JJK really does feel like Bleach, bro. Christian Garcia, yo, I haven't seen you in a minute, bro. How are you doing? The first anime I would recommend for beginners is Shield Hero, the time I got reincarnated as a slime, or Konosuba. Aren't all of those isekai? I can't rightfully in my heart, in my spirit, tell somebody to watch isekai first. If I was recommending somebody like a first time anime, here's my rule of anime. When somebody is brand new to anime, I like to give them a short series because, yes, people will watch live action shows, but people don't take. I feel like people don't take anime as seriously because it's animated. Even though anime does talk about real life, like you remember the time One Piece had themes that talked about fucking slavery, or talked about racism, or talked about fucking how the government is actually just trying to control you, right? We know how One Piece has all these themes in it, but from somebody on the outside, they just see a motherfucker stretching around and punching motherfuckers, right? And now that the One Piece, the live action one that's the Studio Wit one. Now that live action One Piece is coming out, people, what's with that video title? Ain't no time like grind time. I can't in front of you, bro. You might be Diddy right now in disguise because you the only one who took it that way. Everybody knows that we grind gacha games right here. Get your mind out of the fucking pits, bro. Anyway, One Piece touches on a lot of real life topics, right? That are very tense topics. But now that it has a live action, people are actually going to, like, bro, think about the fact that Nico Robin's entire race got genocided. I don't know if you're allowed to say that shit on YouTube. Think about the fact that Nico Robin's entire clan got genocided just because they knew something about history, and the government was like, yo, we will wipe an entire fucking race if it means that y'all can't tell nobody about this shit later. Think about that. I feel like that's some real life shit. Bro, how many times have you seen like those videos like surface on YouTube where it's like somebody just figured out we just figured out how to power a car with water. We just figured out how to make an infinite fuel supply. We just figured out how to do this. We just figured out how to do this. And all of a sudden those people just fucking die. Think about that shit. So One Piece is spitting real shit, bro. Naruto as well. Abandonment and mistreatment. Bro, Naruto's dad wasn't a deadbeat. More so, it was like, what is the life of an orphan like? We don't know. A lot of people don't know because a lot of people have at least one of their fucking parents. You think a single parent household is tough? Think about coming into a household where you're not even birthed from the people in the fucking household. You constantly have this thought in your mind. By the way, I'm not adopted or anything. My mom loves me. My dad loves me too. I just don't be talking to that motherfucker that much. But like, dead ass, bro. Like, think about that. Think about the mental trauma that somebody who doesn't have anybody to turn to is like. And then think about two people interacting in an environment in a vacuum, right? Naruto and Sasuke. Two people who do not have their family for very different reasons. Or rather, have nobody to turn to. And they couldn't even voice how they really felt to each other because their lives were so fucked up. And that's real. Like, people meet each other all the time at the wrong time in their life, even though they could be really great people for each other. It's like, look at Sasuke, he hated Itachi and didn't even know why. Exactly. And even in Bleach as well, it's like, Ichigo lost his mom. Ichigo lost his fucking mom at an early age. His dad wasn't, like, negligent. I feel like the vibe Ichigo's dad gave off felt negligent because he was such a goofball, and you felt like he wasn't being more structured in his, because like children need structure, bro. And Ichigo's only 15 in Bleach at the start of Bleach, right? It feels like Ichigo's dad is somewhat negligent too, and then you figure out his dad's not negligent. His dad was just playing the fool. But even still, bro, like there's tough stuff for Ichigo to deal with. Bleach's message is having to accept very big responsibilities at a very early age in life because of the things that happened before you. What do you do? What do you do when you have to be accountable for things that you didn't even commit to because you weren't born yet, but now you have to deal with them because you're facing the embers of what your parents had to deal with, I guess, right? Like, anime always has a real message in it. Not always. Not 100 girlfriends who really love you, or girlfriend, like that shit ain't got no fucking message, bro. I guess it's ball knowledge. Yo, by the way, chat, I cannot front on you. I hate short-term content because I think it teaches people to have a short attention span. I hate TikTok. I hate Vine. I hate Instagram Reels. I hate all that shit. But I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Sometimes I open up YouTube on my phone, and when I see those fucking Dragon Ball Z Aura Farmer tournament videos, bro, them shits have me in a chokehold, bro. Fairy Tail. Damn, I haven't watched Fairy Tail in so long, man. I mean, I guess Fairy Tail, people shit on Fairy Tail for the power of friendship, which honestly, the power of friendship is a very common theme in anime, but I'm not gonna lie. Humans are social creatures. That's why, think about the fact that we're born on a planet with like I don't even know how many different species, considering animals on land, animals in the sky, animals underwater. I don't know how many different species there are on the planet. But like, think about the fact of like, does a whale or a cheetah or a bear from this region of the world have to learn a new dialect? If you took a bear from this region of the world and put it in a different region of the world, would that bear have to learn a new dialect, or would it just have to learn a new societal system because it's not in the society it's usually in? But humans are so prolific and so intelligent that not only can we learn new languages, we can learn new cultures, we can share cultures, form new cultures, and all these different kind of things. Humans are the most intelligent creatures on the planet, and humans also have the highest capability to be versatile in their cultivation, I guess, right? So like, if you think about that, like, we are social creatures, bro. Even if you, bro, my best friend is literally like, yo, I'm antisocial, I'm an introvert. And he still likes to mingle and interact with new people. Like, when I set up a game night at my house, by the way, Chad, I set up game nights at my house. We'll play Magic the Gathering. We'll play the Nintendo Switch. We'll play Cards Against Humanity. We'll drink. It's a hell of a time. Blah, 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 all this shit, right? Even though he's antisocial, when I let him know I'm setting up an event like that, he'll show up. Why is that? Because humans are social creatures. And even if you don't like to interact with people a lot, if your homie, who you know you like to associate with, has more people that he's inviting over to his house, you have somewhat of an idea like, okay, maybe I can fuck with associating with these people as well, and you're willing to go and at least give it a try. So even people who are antisocial are social to some extent. People who are antisocial, I feel like, just don't have enough opportunities to talk about stuff that they want to talk about. Let's see. Naruto is full of life lessons. That shit slapped me into who I am today. I don't care what anyone says. Make sure I leave a like and subscribe. Of course. Look at Sasuke. He hated Itachi. I didn't know why he killed the clan. The fairy taught me life lessons. I never got into fairy tale. I'm missing out. I liked fairy tale when I was a kid. And honestly, I didn't even stop watching fairy tale because of the power of friendship shit. I stopped watching fairy tale because the animators started to get super lazy, and they used to, like, in the fights, they used to, like, freeze frame the attacks. So, like, Natsu would be like, what is it? Flame Dragon's Roar, and he spew the fire, but it felt like I was looking at a fucking screenshot of him hitting the enemy with the fire, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I was like, I'm out of here with this slideshow bullshit. But I can't front you. A lot of animation studios are getting away with that or not getting away with it, but like One Punch Man, for example. Season 2 of Blue Lock, for example. I'll be honest with you, bro. If the last 2 episodes of the U20 game for Season 2 of Blue Lock didn't look how it looked, yo, I'm not gonna say I would have put the show down, but the anime would have been going. The anime would not be on my watch list any fucking more. I would just be reading it. I read it now, but it's just like, I'm scared for season 3, low key, because I'm just like, yo, that shit y'all did last season was unacceptable. But it's like, most of the season was training, right? And the most important part of the season is the U20 game. So I'm glad they stepped in. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. The last 2 episodes of Blue Lock Season 2 looked like fucking Sukuna versus Maharaja. When they started up and Rin and Sai looked at each other, and Sai takes that breath and you see the smoke come out of his mouth, I swear that man 1 for 1. You can put that man beside a frame of Maharaja and that shit was 1 for 1, bro. But I was like, yo, this shit is evil. And now I'm just like, yo, I need Season 3 to come with that intensity like the entire time. Because like, Season 3 is the Neo Egoist League. It is not practice anymore. It is game after game after game. So I need to see some crazy animation, bro, or y'all are losing it. Stab his sword into the ground. Counterattack? Yes, exactly. Maybe a little more like that. Yes, I think that's perfect. S? Yes, sir! Full Metal Alchemist is fire. I'll be honest with you, Full Metal Alchemist is one of those shows that I've watched when I was really young. I need to go back and rewatch it. Everybody, like, not everybody around me, but a lot of people around me have been like, yo, I rewatched Full Metal, bro, that shit is fire. And I'm like, bro, I don't doubt it. And honestly, I be seeing clips from Full Metal, and I'm just like, man, it is time for me to get back on that shit. Because them, like, bro, there's like a certain, like,
You got like Dragon Ball Z where like they're all basically gods at this point. They're just like punching each other for the fuck of it. That's how Dragon Ball Z fights feel. But then you have like shows where like everybody's not a god in the show, but everybody's fighting for their fucking life. Like, bro, you look at JJK and you're just like, yo, these motherfuckers are hitting each other like bro, the difference between Dragon Ball Z and like JJK, right? When I'm watching Dragon Ball Z, they loop the same fucking punch animation 3 times. Then they do a bunch of beams and shit. Beam clash, transform, beam clash, key attack. Okay, I punch it like 3 times. I'm backing out. JJK, bro, when Yuji hits somebody in their shit, I can feel that shit, bro. When Yuji punches somebody in their fucking chest, my chest hurts. That's how JJK fighting is. That's how fighting should be in anime. I want my chest to hurt when somebody gets hit in their fucking chest. I want to feel that shit. I want to feel the oomph when they get hit, bro. I love that shit. I love Black Flash. Black Flash is that fucking bass boost. Black Flash is punching somebody in their shit base boosted, bro. I love that shit, man. I love that shit. Them motherfuckers be fighting rough as hell in JJK. Alright, guys, which character am I about to get level 100 for real? Because I have the stamina to do it. Should I work on Momo, maybe? I could work on Kamamura. I can finish working on my tactic characters, low-key. I can work on Tosin. So that I can put him on a team with Gin instead of Baki's fire. Baki be a little out there for me sometimes, bro. I'm a Dragon Ball Z hater because like no one even really dies in that show. You know, everyone is saved, and like I don't necessarily hate shows where like nobody dies or like a very small amount of people die. But it's like Dragon Ball Z is so stupid. Like, you die and it's like, alright, bro, we'll get you back next week, bro. Don't worry, bro. We got the Dragon Balls on layaway. We just gotta go talk to Bulma, bro. We're gonna box this dude up. We're gonna go talk to Bulma, bro. He'll be back, bro. It's cool, bro. Like, it's like, let's see. Frieren is about teamwork, friendship, companionship, and compassion. Maybe Frieren was a little too... This is unfair to say, maybe. I need to give Frieren another try because I would say Frieren is too slow for me, but at the same time, I like Slice of Life, and Slice of Life be slow as hell. They don't do nothing going on no damn Slice of Life, bruh. Maybe, should I upgrade Hitsugaya? I really don't use Hitsugaya as much anymore. Like, here, bro, this is why I have so much stamina, bro. I don't even know who I want to give my resources to, bruh. And it's like, when I was summoning for Aizen and I was going balls deep on Aizen's banner, that shit put me back in sweaty mode. So I was like, let's get every character to level 100. But like, now I'm kind of like sitting here like, yo, like, the grind is kind of crazy in this game for real. And it's like, bro, I guarantee you, if I wanted to push a character all the way down here to level 100 right now, right? For example, just one of these 5, because they're all level 40, right? If I wanted to push them to level 100 right now, I feel like it would expend all of the stamina I have right now. Actually, no, that's not true. It wouldn't take all my stamina, because not only do I have all the stamina that I have, but how many spirit nourishing orbs do I have? I got this stamina, and then what? I have 10 spirit nourishing orbs. So like, I could definitely get a character to level 100 right now, but I just be trying to chill on my stamina for real. And also, I remember I said I wanted to save all my corridor keys and save all of my save like just a bunch of resources up until the half anniversary, which honestly, the game came out November 21st. In 4 days, it's officially like 2 months that the game has been out. So that means we're only 4 months away from the half anniversary. And apparently the half anniversary is Vasto Lord Ichigo. I don't know how true that is, but I can't front of you. Out of all the list of characters we've seen leaked, Vasto Lord Ichigo is absolutely the most hyped character. So I would not be surprised. My bad. My bad. Hold on. Sorry. Had to make sure there was no important messages around. Oh, Shogun, thank you for joining the server as well, bro. I didn't even see that. But yes. A live action for Full Metal. I'm very much not a fan of live action for anime because anime is so over the top that when you try to put it in a live action format, I feel like some things just cannot be translated one of one, and I don't like that very much. But like then I hear that Blue Lock is getting a live action. I'm just like, that's literally just sports. And I watch soccer all the time. Like when I'm at work, bro, every single day I clock in at work. We have 3 TVs in the restaurant. I literally put 2 different TVs on 2 different soccer games so I can watch the soccer games like side by side. So a Blue Lock live action is literally just gonna be like a soccer game that's like highly interesting because soccer can be very like bro. Soccer can be 80 minutes of back and forth, and then finally somebody scores a point at minute 81, right? Whereas in Blue Lock, like, these motherfuckers be violating, bro. They get to that shit in 10 seconds, bro. Somebody's already in your goalie box trying to get that point, bro. It does not matter. Is there anything else for me to do in Bleach right now? Oh yeah, I said I was gonna grind, I guess. Which character? I guess, like I said, I guess I could start working on tactic characters. Because I have my main DPS right here. Or should I work on Ikaku? I don't know, bruh. I try to lock in for videos, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to dedicate the time. I don't know if I want to dedicate time to a video. Like, the background time that you have to put into videos, that shit is intensive. But just like streams and shit, it's chill. Like I feel like usually I stream for like a few days on end until I'm kind of like, all right, bro, like now I'm back in the video mode, right? But I gotta gear myself back into content mode in general, and streams are a light way for me to do it. Do you like the random selection of characters right now, or do you wish it was more in order of the storyline? I do think. Like, we get Vassalorde before some captains and shit. I think that... I mean, I enjoy the characters that are out right now. But I will say, like, it feels like the way they're releasing characters, they're kind of playing it by ear, right? Because it was Bankai Ichigo first, which I think that's fair. Once Ichigo learned Bankai, that is the state he stays in all the time. So, Bankai Ichigo is the first character, and he's the main character. That wasn't too crazy to me. Jumping to Hitsugaya, though, that was a little random in my opinion, but I enjoyed Hitsugaya's celebration. But then, you get to Aizen's celebration, and I was like, damn, you're just jumping to Aizen, who switched up, instead of this captain, or this captain, or this captain. Like, the fact that we got Aizen before we got Kenpachi, kind of insane. But, I will not complain. I am a Bleach lover, and I love the game. The game is fun. But I was like, yo, it's insane that you guys released Aizen and then released Gin right after. Especially from like a hype perspective. I feel like the character release order is definitely a bit wonky, but I still enjoy the characters that they provided to us. And I enjoy working on the characters, I guess. Like, I feel like even though it eats a lot of your stamina to work on a character, I feel like the grind isn't that bad. There's a lot of places where you can boost your character. Like, it's good to have a lot of places you can boost your character, but it becomes negative whenever there's like too many places and all of the things are very intensive. Like this, I'd say the most intensive part of working on your character is the stamps. Because literally, the RNG for the stamp corridor is butt cheeks, except for now they fixed it, kinda. Then also these stamps right here. You gotta keep farming these stamps over and over again until you get like the right substats. And then even after you get the right substats, you have to literally like 6-star them, which if you don't get the right extra passive on them, then you have to waste your time, get the stamps again, and blah, 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 right? But this is basically gear. So makes sense that it's the most intensive. Skills, very simple. I do hate that you cannot skip ticket these stages, or you can't raid these stages, but it is what it is. You can raid every other stage. Very simple, very intuitive. Weapon level, very simple, very intuitive. Stats, very simple, very intuitive. So it's like a bunch of different places you can boost your character, but at least it's simple in all the places except for one. And honestly, the stamps are simple too. It's just more tedious. But yeah, I think the character release is a little wonky for sure. But I don't think it really matters because I think this game is supposed to be like a Bleach fanboy's like dream, right? Like they're giving us the hype characters right now. Sure, LMAO, don't remind me of Kaiju number 8 on God, bro. We ain't talking about that. That's a dark place. Man, I was in Discord the other night with Diver and his homie Jay. His homie Jay pops in, bro, and we're playing Smite. And this man Jay's playing a game on his phone, and we're like, "What are you playing?" He's like, "That Kaiju," and I'm like, "That brother fucking lost. You are lost, my brother. Turn that shit off. Turn that shit off." Yeah, you got my northerner voice, bro. That shit had me not salty, but I was like, "Why are you wasting your own fucking time, my boy? Why are you wasting your own time?" Ugh. And I'm just like, bro, and I still, like I said, bro, I want the Kaiju number. It's already killed it for me, bro. Y'all know who I am. Y'all know how I am, bro. Like, I like to play gacha games from the start. I like to maintain my account as best I can. And once I quit a game, it is so hard for me to get back into a game because I'm like, I like to have not every character because I like to be the sweatiest. I like to have every character because the way I see it, if the game is a toolbox without having certain characters, I do not have every tool at my disposal. And different contents are going to require different tools. I like to have all of the tools. You know what I'm saying? I have, yep, it's right here. I have a toolkit, an iFixit toolkit for working on my PC, for working on anything really, bro. And I'll be honest with you, I used to use this toolkit all the time. Bruh, I barely open this toolkit now. And the crazy thing is, there are so many useful fucking tools in here. A very high number of useful tools in here. All the different heads, the screwdriver, all that. It's a very nice kit. It should cost $70 or something like that. Bro, I'm missing one tool in this shit. That shit pisses me off till the end of days, bro. Every time I open this and I'm using it for something else, not even the tool that I lost. Every time I open this shit up to grab my screwdriver, I just look at that one empty spot and it pisses me the fuck off. I hate having shit incomplete. I like to have all of my tools at my disposal because you never know when you would need any of them. And just having a toolbox without all the tools in it just innately pisses me off. That is why I like to play gacha games the way that I do. Now, is it very sweaty to get every character? Yes. But luckily, Bleach Soul Resonance is a very free-to-play friendly game. People are gonna hate to hear that shit. Bleach Soul Resonance is a free-to-play friendly fucking game. Let's be real, bro. Let's be real. That sounds like it could be a really funny series on YouTube. Dude, also, I know I asked y'all a very long time ago if y'all would like to see like Magic the Gathering stuff on my channel. I don't know if I'll do it on this channel because this channel is kind of like, I feel like when I branch off and do anything else in general on this channel, it just kind of isn't received as much. Unless I do like anime analysis or some shit like that. Some of my most viewed videos on my channel are like anime analysis, like breakdown type of videos. But like usually I just stick to like gacha games specifically for this channel. But I would like to like, I would still like do like Magic the Gathering, but like maybe on a different channel or something like that. And as soon as I start making those videos, obviously I'm gonna plug it up and be like, guys, go check out this channel. You can catch me doing like Magic the Gathering stuff over here. But we just play so much at my house now. Like, bro, at this point, I have so many decks and I have so many people who pull up for Magic the Gathering, bro. I could host a tournament in my house. If I invited like 3 more people for Magic on like Thursday nights, I could host a tournament in my house that night. I just want to have a camera where I can get like an overhead view of the table and shit. That'd be cool in my opinion. Kaiju number 8 mobile game will shut down if they keep up with the same characters like Naruto Blazing that shut down years ago. Kaiju YouTubers turning into Raid Shadow Legends YouTubers. I had to unsubscribe to everyone. I like his anime talks, no cap. You got more knowledge than 90% of the content creators out here on God. Bro, I be balls deep in this anime, bro. Like, there are even some animes that, like, I've never watched, but I look up some things on it so I can talk about the most important parts of it. But even still, bro, I remember when I was younger, I used to call myself the anime man. And I was like, funny enough, there's a YouTube, what's his name, Joey the anime man. He's like a part of Trash Taste. Trash Taste, bro, I love their content. I love Connor. Connor is my favorite one out of all of them. I don't watch Garnt as much, but I know he made his own anime. I gotta check that out. But I used to call myself the anime man when I was like younger, and I've gotten to a point where like I have a very specific acquired taste for anime now, and it's like I'm trying to like start branching back out and watching more shows again. So like now that My Hero's over, I'm considering reading My Hero just so I can talk about the actual semantics of the show instead of just saying fuck My Hero. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate being somebody who talks poorly about something, but I have no idea how that thing actually is. And I was a fan of My Hero when it started, but then when it got to season 4 and they did that whole talent show shit, man, I was like, oh, get this shit out of here, bro. The problem with My Hero was they didn't know how to balance their slice of life parts in their like hero parts, right? So it's like when they're heroes, and when they're students. Whereas you look at a show like Don Da Don, even when they're fighting all these spirits and shit like that, like you can tell that like Momo and Ken Takakura, that's his name, because she always calls him Okadun. I was trying to think of his actual name. You can tell that Momo and Okadun like each other, right? And it's like it's like weaved into everything because they like each other, so they interact in a certain way. Versus My Hero, does Demon Slayer have a gacha game? I don't know. To this day, we don't have a Full Metal Alchemist gacha game. It would go hard. It'll be like JJK Phantom Parade. People would spin on that like crazy. Dude, JJK Phantom Parade really did kind of die for me at a certain point. And I don't know what it was. Again, it's just that like once I lose track of the characters, man, I kind of just stop. Like once I quit a game, the same thing that I tell people in like relationships and shit, those people who like break up with their ex and then get back together with them, I'm like, yo, y'all broke up for a reason. If y'all keep getting back together, y'all are just gonna keep breaking up for that same reason with extra layers added on to it. Each time y'all get back together, there's extra layer added on to it. So now it's like that's how I am with gacha games. I left this game for a reason, and now when I come back to the game, I'm gonna remember that reason I left the game. And on top of that, now I'm missing certain like viable characters. And on top of that, now I'm noticing this thing. Now I'm noticing this thing. It's like every time I try to come back to something that I quit, it's like I just notice more and more things about it that I hate. Yeah, I finished My Hero. It was good. I hate the self-insert they're trying to pull from My Hero, getting these NPCs to be relevant. I'm the same as you. If I quit a game, I can't go back. And like literally, bro, I try like. And honestly, bro, like, I'm very much, like, my own person, bro. Like, I was saying earlier, where I was like, bro, I'm a free spirit for real, bro. Like, we were talking about the holidays, and I was like, I don't need to spend the holidays with, like, I don't feel upset when I don't get to see, like, my family on the holidays. Not because I don't love my family. They're great people. But it's because, like, I'm so comfortable in my own energy that, like, I'm chill. Like, bro, I'm with myself every day. If you don't know how to be by yourself, what do you know? You're always by yourself, essentially, even when you're with a group of people. You're the only one in your fucking shoes, bro. So it's like, I'm not somebody who hates the holidays, and I'm not like a bah humbug kind of guy. If you guys don't know that reference, that's a dude. It's weird being in environments now where like you used to be. I was explaining to somebody that like I started school early, I guess. So I started the 6th grade when I was 9 years old, and I turned 10 during 6th grade, right? And then I started the 9th grade when I was 12, and I turned 13 at the start of the year, which means that by the time I got to my senior year of high school, I was 16 as a senior, and then I turned 17 the month after school started, and I graduated at 17. So I was always used to being the youngest person no matter where I was. Then I literally, but luckily, my sister was born 9 years before me, and me and my sister, it's weird. Me and my sister were born 9 years apart, but she was born 5 days after I was born. So I'm September 12th, she's September 17th. And funny enough, I remember I was telling y'all guys, my sister's birthday is actually Yami's birthday. Or my sister, not year, obviously. We don't even know what the years are in Black Clover. But my sister's birthday is Yami's birthday. My birthday is Veto's birthday from Black Clover, right? But literally, I was like, me and my sister are more similar than we both like to admit. But since we are similar, we're pretty close when we were younger. So it's like my sister rubbed off on me a lot when I was younger. Late night stream, yo, what's good? Hey! But literally, me and my sister are very like similar, and we were pretty close. So literally, I think about the fact of I was the youngest person always, but nobody ever knew I was the youngest person because one, I'm big as shit, dude. If not the same size as everybody around me, bigger than everybody around me. Then also, I used to hang out with my sister who was 9 years older than me. So like I knew about stuff that kids my age didn't even really know about, because like my sister likes like vintage shit, you know what I'm saying? My sister likes Purple Rain. My sister likes Love and Basketball and shit like that. So I had good knowledge of stuff like that. But then also I'm just smart and I like computers. I've liked computers since I was like a very young like person. So it's like I always was on my computer doing research on shit. I remember, bro, the first time I ever heard of anything from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I think that part 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, when did the anime for that shit come out? Hold on. What is it called? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders. So JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3, the anime adaptation aired in 2 parts from April 2014 to April 2015. Oh, that's insane. Hold on, chat. Wait a minute. So now let's look up, what is it? It's Phantom Blood, and then it's Phantom Blood Battle Tendency. Anime release. Chat, I need y'all to understand, bro. I learned about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure like part 3. I learned who the fuck Dio was back when they were still animating part 2 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, dog. That's how much I was like on my computer and like looking shit up if I was curious. And I remember specifically there was the channel that does Death Battle, Screw Attack, I think the name of the channel is. I don't know if it's still called Screw Attack, but I remember being a kid and watching a Screw Attack video on Alucard from Hellsing versus Dio Brando. And I remember watching that video, and I was like, I'm not into that, because my family's like super like Christian, super religious. And I was like, oh, I'm not fucking with that Alucard dude. But I was like, who the hell is Dio Brando? And I remember looking up Dio Brando on Google, and the only picture I could find of Dio wasn't even like, the wiki page I was looking at didn't even have a fucking manga panel. It was literally a pixelated version of Dio from a video game. And I like, bro, I used to like do my research back in the day. I was that kid that when I heard a new word, I didn't even bother to ask the person who said the fucking word. I just remembered the word, and when I got home or got to a dictionary, I looked that shit up so I know what the word meant. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is like Persona, but with muscular people. So like literally, I love Persona, but literally, I'm just like, yo, like my sister taught me about like black culture, I guess. I don't fucking know. Black music, black food, black entertainment, all that shit. Then I did my own research to look at my, what I like more, like Japanese culture, anime, Asian food, Asian hoes, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, bro, I've been well studied since a kid, bro. And that's why I say the world is like a classroom, because like no matter what, bro, whether it's school, whether it's I see something in real life, like I like to study those situations and develop my knowledge further and further, no matter what the knowledge is coming from. But like, yeah, in high school, man, I graduated at 17, and I remember I took a semester off of school and went to college. So I guess I was like the same age-ish as everybody, but still very young. But I remember like working when I first started working at restaurants. That's when I finally got a taste of what it was like to be like an older person at the restaurant, because at a restaurant, typically all of the servers are 18 plus, because literally you have to be 18 to carry like liquor to somebody's table, right? Then all the girls at the host stand, and even some of there are dudes sometimes that host, but like most of the time it's like girls, right? And I remember one time my manager broke it down to me, and I was like, that does make sense. He was like, you put all the pretty people in the front so that people walk through the front door. You have like attractive servers, and I was like, yo, this is fucked up, but like it's true. I look good as fuck. I'm like, you have all these attractive servers and shit like that, so people like talking to people at their tables. You dump all the cooks in the back. I was like, yo, that's fucked up. But I can't be honest with you. Any restaurant I've worked at, I don't know that I would let those cooks talk to people. I do not know that I would do it. So makes sense. But I'm just like, when I started working at restaurants, that's when I finally got into environments where I was no longer like the youngest person, but even still, I wasn't the oldest person. I was like the in between, right? Bakugan and Beyblade were top animes for little kids. Yo, do not get me started. Bakugan was insane. I remember there was a Bakugan game for the Wii that was called Bakugan Battle for New Vestroia, and it was like, I feel like the first Bakugan game they had, you used to roll the Bakugan onto the cards and make them pop out, and you battle like very basic, like the toys would fight. But then I remember, or maybe I'm wrong, but I remember Battle for New Vestroia, you got to actually control the Bakugan and actually box with the motherfuckers in the game, bro. And I remember you could unlock all the main characters' Bakugans, and I remember there were parts of the game where you had to be the main characters and you had to like go around and traverse the world, and then you would, whenever it was time to fight, you would turn into the Bakugan. That shit was so teed, bro. That was such a fun game, bro. Like, I can't front of you. If I had an emulator for Wii on my computer, bro, I'd be playing that shit, bro. I'd be playing that shit till this day. And then Beyblade, bro. Ryuga is a certified fucking menace. Why was this motherfucker going around snatching souls with a fucking is it El Drago? Is El Drago Ryuga's Beyblade? Because I remember, and I'm talking about Beyblade Metal Fusion. There's obviously way more iterations of Beyblade before Metal Fusion. Beyblade went crazy, the hype levels was crazy, but I don't think it aged well. Fair play, but like a lot of things, well, it didn't age well for us, but the thing about shows like Beyblade and Bakugan and Digimon and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Even, the thing about those shows is those shows are targeted at kids for selling products, right? Because I went back and I restarted Dranzer. Red Phoenix Beyblade, the signature spin top of Kai Hiwatari in the original Beyblade series. Let me see. Let me see if I recognize Kai. Yeah, bro, I do remember the original Beyblade, because I remember this motherfucker with his backwards hat. Yeah, I remember him, bro. But like the Beyblade series that I like remember watching like the most was Beyblade Metal Fusion. Like, bro, I remember like half the characters' fucking names from Beyblade Metal Fusion. Jinga Hagane, Ryuga, Kiyoya, Benkei. There was a kid in there and his Beyblade was Sagittarius. I remember there was a dude named Tsubasa and he had Dark Eagle. And I remember, he had Eagle, and sometimes his Beyblade would take him over, I think. And literally his Eagle would be like Dark Eagle and he'd be fucking losing his mind while his Beyblade's like spewing out dark energy and shit, bro. That was like when I was like on that Beyblade shit. But my show, when I was a kid, bro, my show was Digimon, bro. Digimon, that was my kid's show. Out of all the shows that I just said that are made to push collectibles, Digimon was my show. And I remember, bro, so my mom and my dad are separated. I remember one summer when I was 8, I stayed with my dad for the summer, and I remember before I left his crib, or his apartment, or his girlfriend at the time's apartment, for the summer, I remember, bro, bought me a figure of, is it War Greymon? Which Greymon is the one from Digimon Data Squad? So season 5 of Digimon, where the main character had Agumon, but he actually used to like punch the Digimon to charge up his like Digivice, and then he would evolve Agumon, and then Agumon pretty much evolved into like this motherfucker with like that had like one hand that was like a gun. He had like a robotic like helmet. The armor on him was like red and white, and then he also had like thrusters instead of like he had like thrusters in his back. Digimon, digital monsters, exactly, bro. Saint Seiya, that's insane. I've never actually seen Saint Seiya. Fun fact about the Dead Man: I've never seen Saint Seiya Omega. And funny enough, I was talking to my bartender earlier about Sailor Moon. Saint Seiya Omega and Sailor Moon are both shows that I need to watch. Is it War Greymon? No, that's no. Hold on. Agumon, Evolution Path, Digimon Data Squad. Oh my god, Sonic was a banger. Bro, my sister, like I said, me and my sister were similar, bro. My sister used to play video games, and low-key, when I saw her playing video games, I was like, I want that shit. My sister had a Sega Genesis when I was younger, and she also had an original Xbox. And I remember she used to play True Crime on her Xbox, and she used to play Sonic the Hedgehog on her Sega Genesis, and then she got Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I remember you could play as Sonic and Tails, and me and her used to play Sonic the Hedgehog together, bro. Let me see. Shine Greymon. Or is it Rise Greymon? All these damn variants of Greymon. Hold on. No. It was Rise Greymon. I got a toy of Rise Greymon. I broke that motherfucker's wings so damn fast, bruh. But nah, Rise Greymon, that boy was evil. And yeah, Ultimate Greymon also works as an answer. Because if you look at Agumon's evolutions, Rise Greymon is his ultimate form. This shit not even a grind Bleach stream anymore. We just yapping about the good old days. I'm saying, bro, but it be like that, bro. Hey, bro, we're not grinding Bleach anymore, bro. We grinding these memories, bro. And plus, I'm just waiting on the homie to pop out and tell me that he's ready to play some Smite so we can play some Smite, bro. Somebody called me? Hold on, give me 1 second, chat. I haven't answered a phone call on stream in a while, but this is a potential teammate for Smite. Let's give him a call back. No answer. Couldn't have been that important. Dude, who remembers the anime Bobobo? Who remembers that shit, bro? That shit was a fever dream and a half. Like, honestly, bro, this just makes me want to like list off some of the animes that I used to watch when I was like a kid, bro. So I remember when I was like much younger, I used to watch, and all my, bro, there was something about Toonami. Toonami was magical, bro. Because before we got spoiled with finding anime on the anime websites and watching all the anime, bro, like, you used to have to watch that shit week to week as a kid that had no computer, bro. You have Bobo on DVD? Christian Garcia, you are a fucking legend, bro. I actually have the first 4 sets of Naruto on DVD, or on Blu-ray behind me, actually, in that I have an entertainment center back here where my TV is. But some of the shows that I watched when I was like younger were Bobo, Inuyasha, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, Prince of Tennis. Yo, there was a show called Mar that was about this dude who had like a keychain. Yo, Weekly was a vibe, bro. I specifically remember, like, I don't know why, I just be remembering, like, specific moments from my childhood. But when I was 6, I remember one day my mom came home, like, super late from work, and I'm just watching Inuyasha, and this man's fucking body and a fucking demon on screen. My mom just walks in the front door, and she's like, and I remember we used to have a Lazy Boy, oh my gosh, bro. My family has not owned a Lazy Boy recliner in I don't know how fucking long. But, like, we used to have this Lazy Boy recliner, bro. That was my spot when I was younger, bro. But literally, I was in the Lazy Boy watching Inuyasha. This man is bodying a demon. Maybe he was fighting his brother Sesshomaru. I don't remember. But I remember my mom walks in. She didn't even bother to look at the TV, which I can't front of you, bro. I don't think that watching certain things on TV influences youths to be a certain way. I think that kids are going to be who they want to be no matter what. There are just some things. Obviously, there are some things that kids shouldn't watch, I guess, but it's like, if I'm intelligent enough to understand that the stuff in the TV is the stuff in the TV and the stuff in real life is the stuff in real life, then, like, it doesn't matter. Obviously, there are some things that, when you're talking about watching real life stuff where people are, like, dying and murdering and all that, that's different. But, like, when you talk about a cartoon, bro, it's like, Especially as a kid, I'm like, bro, this ain't that scary to me. I'm like, yeah, he's fighting demons and shit, but I'm just like, bro, it's a cartoon. I'm chill. And it's like I feel like from a young age, I was like kind of like very not adult in my mind, but like kind of like people have told me before that like I seem very mature for my age all the time. Like I remember, dude, you know how many times I've been bartending at my job and literally somebody will go, yo, how old are you? And I'm like, yo, I'm 26. And they're like, you're 26? I'm like, dude, the shit that you're saying, the conversation we're having right now, bro, like, I thought you were like 35 or some shit. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm chill. Like, I've been told that my entire life. So it's just like, I have the understanding, like, yo, a demon, just because I watch Inuyasha in my living room right now, a demon is not about to come and try to body my ass right now. I see. That's fine. A demon's not going to try to come and body my ass right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, my mom walks in, she looks at me, she's just like, what are you doing up right now? I'm like, I don't got school tomorrow. She's like, facts. Goes to bed, bro. I'm just like, hey, bro, we locked in on this Inuyasha. So, it is what it is, man. And a lot of my homies are like, yo, my mom didn't let me watch this when I was younger. My dad didn't let me watch this when I was younger. And I'm like, hey, bro, I have chill parents. I was allowed to watch anime, bro. I had a homie. That man Diver's mom would have let him watch Naruto because she saw the episode where Naruto was fighting. Or I think the only episode of Naruto she saw was where Naruto was fighting or he saw was when Naruto was fighting Neji when he was younger. And then literally he was like, yeah, my mom's not fucking with that shit because she thought Neji was possessed because that boy ain't got no pupils. And I was like, that's facts. Kill La Kill was peak. I watched Kill La Kill when I was younger. I fucked with Kill La Kill. I liked it. It's not one of my like top, but I still enjoyed it though. Sorry, chat. I'm trying to get some Oh, give me 1 second. Facts. Okay. Facts. Let's see. What's the new anime you picked up, Dead Man? I'll answer that in a second. Dead Man looked like he's standing on business with that phone call. Always. Had to put the glasses on. Man, like you did not just do that. What you mean? What, the glasses, bro? What you mean? I was into anime in part of high school, and now I'm addicted to web novels. Fair play. What's good, John Smith? How you doing, bro? Nice. And Samurai Jack was peak. Samurai Jack can you consider it an anime if it wasn't made in Japan? But Samurai Jack is still a peak piece of animation, and it was actually really fire when they rebooted Samurai Jack and finished it up and gave it a little more story. That was pretty cool. But new animes that I'm watching right now, obviously I'm watching the new season of JJK, which isn't really new for me because I already read it all, but still. Yo, there is a show called Sentenced to Be a Hero. That shit is flames, my brother. I love that shit, man. It's a very interesting concept. Instead of like a hero being like a typical hero that you would expect, being a hero is actually the worst punishment you can get in this universe. Because after you in the phone call, LOL, I was filtering you in a manga panel. Jeez. But in Sentenced to Be a Hero. Oh, you're watching that shit? Yo, that shit is crazy. For the rest of the people in chat who don't know what Sentenced to Be a Hero is, instead of a hero being a good thing, being a hero is the worst punishment that you can possibly get, because in this world, there are like demon lords who just like randomly spawn, and the demon lords are just killing like civilization. And literally in the second episode, you figured out that like a very big like a portion of the planet is not even habitable by humans anymore because of the demon blight is what it's called. And I guess the demon blight, if you talk to a girl and she says guys that like anime are weird, what's the next move? I can't front of you. The next move is saying I can't front of you. What's weirder than dudes who like anime is you thinking I gave a fuck about your opinion. Get out of my presence, mortal. That's usually how I talk to these females. And usually they come back to talk to me again anyway. You know, chat, being attractive is a cheat code, and I know that that's not just something that people can turn on and off. Being attractive is a cheat code because you can kind of, if somebody pisses you off, you can kind of shit on them and like they'll still fuck with you. They'll still fuck with you, bro. Or usually, fold, go away. But it's like also, man, I've told people, I've been talking to females before, and I'm just like, yo, like. I fuck with anime a lot, blah blah blah, and like their answer is usually one of three things. Oh, anime. Anime's so mainstream now. I don't really talk to girls anymore in a sense where they're like, oh, that's weird. Like I don't really encounter girls who say that anymore. They just go, oh, I don't watch that, because they accept now that like it's not that weird because a lot of dudes like it. Shit, half the time you're talking to a girl about anime, their boyfriend's already trying to get them into that shit and they're not liking that shit. Sometimes you're the reason why they get into that shit. But like, literally, man, sometimes I either get the, oh, I don't really watch that, and then at that point I just kind of like I just move on in the conversation. Here's the thing about men and women. Men will try to put the extra effort in and go the extra mile to get something that they want. Women don't have to do that because of the way, or at least where I live, women don't really have to do that because of the way the society has raised them up. So if a female does not want to interact with you anymore, they are allowed to walk away or abruptly end the conversation. And you know, we live in a society where you can't really shit on her for that. And like honestly, bro, I'm not the type of person anyway to try and shit on somebody for like bowing out of a conversation. You know how many times in my life somebody's tried to talk to me about something I didn't care about, and I paused them and said, yo, I'll be honest with you, I do not give a fuck what you're talking about, bro. So you can keep talking, but like you're just gonna be wasting your fucking breath. I'm gonna walk away now. I've literally said those words to people before. So I cannot be upset I am a person. You can't be somebody who can dish out shit, but you can't take it, right? So it's like, if somebody is not interested in what I'm saying and they walk away, I don't give a fuck. Even when I'm in a group conversation, if I'm trying to say something and people keep just like talking about something else, and like I'm just like, I just stop talking, I'm just like, cool, and I just kind of walk off and just go do something else. Really, like I'm so unbothered, bro. Like I'm not this kind of person. Even though I said I'm a social person and I'm very good at interacting with people and I like to interact with people, I'm never a fiend for interactions with people, because people are a fiend for interactions with me. How can you be a fiend when you're the product? Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's just like, people love interaction with me, and it's just like, I know if I walk 5 feet in this direction and away from this conversation, somebody else is going to try to strike up a conversation with me any fucking way. So it's just kind of like, I have social interactions in excess. I can choose which social interactions are worth my time and which ones are not. Whereas somebody who is not getting as much social interactions or is not as extroverted as I am, if that's the word you want to use. They think that every social interaction is like a A1 interaction to grow from, which that's a very good perspective to have. I think that's a use any grindstone to polish the sword. Don't take that the wrong way. Kind of perspective. I'm fucking with the conversation, but imagine someone is here just trying to see some gameplay. Deadass, they be mad as hell. But like low key, they will hop in the chat and they be like, yo, do some shit. And I'll be like, oh, let me pick up the controller. And then I'll scramble for the controller. You know what I'm saying? But literally though, Boruto ruined Naruto. Like they make Team 7 weak and the ending made no sense. Kurama leaving Naruto is dumb and idiotic. Like you basically made Naruto weak. Facts. You're the product to your own environment. I'm not a product. I'm the manufacturer. Not I'm the product, like for instance, what I meant by I'm the product is what do people naturally fiend for in society, class? Nobody has to raise their hand, you can say it, like drugs. What I meant was if social interaction were the drug, you know what, you just helped me to realize I needed to evolve my statement. Because by saying the product, that's like saying I'm not the supplier, but like I am the supplier. My social interactions is the product. Yes, you are correct, A. Thank you for that correction. A very rare dead man slip, but that boy A was locked in. But yes, I am the supplier. So it's like I can't be a fiend if I'm the supplier, because then I wouldn't be able to supply shit. I'd be fiending out on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Right? And it's just like, I'm never a fiend for social interactions because people are a fiend for my social interactions. People love talking to me, bro. And I know that. You know how many situations I'm in where people pull up and they're just like, I bet everybody loves you. And I'm just like, yeah, maybe. Who gives a shit? Right? Like, people are more interested in how excellent of a person I am than I am sometimes. Like, people are more amazed by me than I am sometimes. And I know I'm amazing, bro. I amaze myself all the damn time. Oh, man. Yeah, bro. I keep saying, never get high off your own supply. Exactly. And I talk to myself, but not too much. Unrelated news, chat. I started watching American Horror Story again today. I only started episode 1. I didn't even get all the way through. I re-upped my Hulu because the other night we were in Discord, me and the homies, and I was talking about American Dad, and I was talking about how all the seasons are on Hulu, and then I realized basically all the seasons are on Hulu. They just have them labeled wrong. So I can watch most of the series because there's 388 episodes of American Dad. There's 380 on Hulu. So I re-upped my Hulu, and I was like, damn, they added a whole season and a half since I haven't been paying for Hulu. So I've been addicted to American Dad all over again, and I'm like, instead of just watching American Dad over and over and over again, let me actually go and look at some other shows this time while I have the subscription. Like, isn't it kind of insane to buy a subscription just to watch one show when you can watch that shit on the dark web? Like, isn't that crazy, bro? Kiss Cartoon. But yeah, man, I watched the first season of American Horror Story when I was younger, and I actually really liked the first season. Then as soon as I saw the setting for the second season, I was like, oh, I'm not fucking with this. And I just stopped watching it. But I'm trying to get back into it. The Rock Lee spinoff on Hulu is fire. I've never watched that, but I know is it like the Rock Lee SD mini series or something like that, where he's like a chibi? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still trying to figure out who to level up. I could level up Momo because I use Momo actually quite a bit with Aizen. But like leveling up her skills just increase like the damage of the skills themselves. That's why I don't really be too worried about it. Like, look at her weapon, bro. It's not leveled up either. How many of these do I have? Okay, that's not a lot. I was about to say that's not a lot, but it's a decent amount. But like, it's not even a decent amount. After I do this, I only have 7 of these. So, really, the only thing I've been stockpiling is stamina, I guess. I could boost Yachidu. That needs 12, and then that one needs 14. So that means I need 26 in all, which would be 4 runs altogether because it drops 8 per run. Yeah, let's do this. All right, chat. This is the first time I'm using like my stamina in like 4 days, I think. Like I said, I've been playing this shit every day. I've just not been doing game modes that use stamina. But yeah, man. That little lore dump was fun. We gotta have more Dead Man lore dumps. But it'd be like that. Back to just anime and shit. By the way, I said a long time ago I'm working on a gotcha game and working. It's been a little stagnant. Like, dude, holiday season. This year was one of the first years where I really did like, where I really was looking forward to being around people for the holidays, because I feel like I have grown a lot as a person. So it was like the holidays were maybe a little bit more tiresome than they usually are for me, because I was trying to be a little more present while I was with people. And even when I'm present while I'm with people, you know, even when I'm, because you know, you have Thanksgiving and then you have Christmas right after, and then you have New Year's right after, right? So it's like, not only am I being more present with people, but also, you know, I was making videos for fucking Bleach too. And it's just like, doing all that while handling the holidays was very tiresome. So it's like, I just needed a little bit of a break, man. And also, like I said, man, I got big stuff happening in March, and I'm just trying to figure out, or I'm not trying to figure out how I'm going to make that work. I just need to gear into a mental mode where, like, I'm ready to make it work. So that's where I'm at now. You had too much on your plate? I won't say too much. I had a lot on my plate. But and guys, if you ever hear me talk about, like, God or anything, I'm not trying to make anybody be a Christian or anything, but, like, I don't believe that God gives you more than you can handle. That's what I say. Any experience that you walked yourself into, or any experience that's thrown on your plate, is never an experience that should be able to overwhelm you, because God will not give you that experience, is what I think. And if you don't believe in God, you know, the universe, Allah, whatever you believe, but like your higher power or your lack of a higher power, the world, whatever, karma, I do not think you were given things that you cannot handle and you do not deserve. Oh, that was only 3 runs. And it's so funny too, because somebody commented under one of my videos and they were I can't remember exactly who it was, but they were like, "Yo, Dead Man, I love the level of content you're putting out for us, but he was like, maybe it's a little too much, man. I just don't want you to burn out." And then literally I was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm not burning out." And then literally, I won't say it was a burnout. It was like I could feel the burnout approaching, but also just because of the time it was of the year, or no, burnout did hit me. But if it was any other time of the year, I don't think it would have hit me like it hit me. It was not the burnout from YouTube. It was the burnout from YouTube, social. Because also, bro, like, this year has been, or honestly, this job that I work at right now, like, yes, it's a restaurant, but like also like, for the most part, we're friends. So it's like, Fire Force is okay-ish anime. I think Fire Force is maybe a better read. Sometimes I see some of the parts in the anime and I'm like, but like reading Fire Force, that shit had me gripped the whole time, bro. But like, we, you know, at my restaurant, you know, our manager will set up like little events for us to go out to, like bowling or like golfing and stuff like that, right? And like he'll drop a group message and go like, "Who wants to go?" And like whoever wants to go goes, right? So it's like we be having like little social events and shit like that. But then I got to a point where I was like, I don't necessarily like all of my coworkers. I'd rather set up social events where like I'm in charge of like who's allowed and who's not. I prefer to be the one who's making the list. You know what I'm saying? So when I got to a point where I realized I could be the one who's making the list, that's when I started hosting game nights at my house. You know what I'm saying? And also, in the 3 years that I've worked at my restaurant, there's quite literally only 2 regulars, not even just at the bar, in the entire restaurant that like, not only if they hit me up and say, "Hey, we're doing this, do you want to come?" I would also hit them up and be like, "Yo, you trying to do anything?" Right? And they're much older than me. They're a married couple, but even still, they're just excellent people. So it's like, there's only 2 people in my restaurant outside of the people I work with who I would actually set up events with. And we kind of just started not a tradition of game nights, but like we be getting into it on game nights, man. We do all kinds of stuff on game night, bro. It's always a great time with them. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I'm just exploring, again, the people that I can socialize with and shit like that. And it's like, you got to be able to think outside the box, because like I said, I'm 26. Do I expect everybody that I hang out with to be like from the ages of like 21 to like 20 to 30? No. Some of the people I talk to and are cool with are like much older than me. But even still, we see shit on the same wavelength. Like I said, somebody way older than me told me they've heard me talk and they think I'm 35 or some shit. So it's like, I fit in with the crowd. It's cool. And I just enjoy spending time with those people. So it's just like, I'm starting to be better about really appreciating the people I appreciate. You know, really showing it. Everything in life is a lesson. Every loss is a lesson. When you fall, you get back up. Nothing is gained with a struggle. It's part of your growth as a person. Exactly. Funny enough, somebody was talking earlier and like, you know how people say, you know, the same old stuff, you know, literally different days, same stuff or something like that, right? I remember one time somebody said same shit, different toilet. And I was like, I kind of like that. And I said that last night, but then honestly, I thought of my own version of that. And I'm just like, new levels, different devils. Because everybody's fighting something, you know? Everybody's got that dark side. Everybody's got something they got to defeat. And I say new levels, different devils, because when you're watching an anime and the anime character gets to a new level, they have to fight the demon inside of them, and then they experience the demon in a different way, right? At first, Libe and Asta was just like a shadowy figure. Then he talks to Libe enough times and he sees the true form of Libe and he literally has to fight Libe and their power grows to a different level. So like literally, new levels, different devils, bruh. That's how it is. I'm chilling on that until like, it's here for 2 weeks. I'm just kind of vibing on that right now. Plus I'm not summoning right now either. Let me see the ETA on these smiters here. Do I have this man's number? Bruh. Alright, chat. It seems that the crew that I was gathering for video games, they're cooler than me, and they have actual real life stuff that they're doing tonight. No, I'm kidding. That makes it sound like they're shitting on me. No. They literally just have stuff they're doing already. So it seems that I'm not gonna have anybody to pop out for Smite for me. And I'll be honest with you, bro. Playing Smite without 2 other people in the chat with you is absolutely egregious. I will not be doing that shit. But yeah, I guess I'll get I kind of do want to get a character level 100. One Punch Man is good anime until they made the Saitama fight gods in the manga. They made Saitama fight God? That happened? One of the most fire lines from One Punch Man is Homeless Emperor saying, what did he say? I think he said, "I'm not homeless, the world is my home." That shit is so hard. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest, chat. That shit's fire. Let's see. You know what? We'll give Hitsugai a level 100, bro. I'm feeling it. How much stamina do I still have? Oh, it's at it right there. I just don't want my stamina to dip below, I don't want it to dip below 240. Because I do want to constantly build towards that 1,000 stamina. Oh, well. I guess I can't push that man much further. Oh, it's not because of my... Well, yeah, it is because of the manuals and because of my gold. Well, damn, I got stopped short right there. I can't even get a max level. This is what I'm talking about. I swear I keep getting Raid Shadow Legends ads, but I never get a Bleach ad. Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I saw mad different content creators actually on that Raid Shadow Legends shit, and I was like, nah, bro, y'all are lost, bro. Y'all motherfuckers are sellouts, bro. Like, I can't front of you, bro. Play whatever games y'all want. Y'all, like, at a base level, the reason why these kaiju creators are playing Raid Shadow Legends is because Raid Shadow Legends is literally sellout gaming to its finest. So, literally, bro, if you're already playing kaiju number 8, you might as well be playing fucking Raid Shadow Legends. Bro, What's the difference in between what's the similarity between a Raid Shadow Legends player and a Kaiju number 8 player? Both don't give a fucking fuck about what they spend their time on because they're literally shoveling dog shit for an experience. So it's like, you might as well be playing either one of them, bruh. Your worst enemy is you. Self-doubt, guilt, or any form, negative mind state impacts yourself. Only you can overcome your inner demons. That's why the anime do a lot of references to mental state. Exactly. And that's the thing that I love so much. Like, in anime, quite literally, yes, having more knowledge from a mentor or some shit is what's stopping the character from getting stronger, but also just them being more, like, look at Ichigo. Ichigo was scared to use his hollow form because he knew he would lose control, but bruh had to work through it and get stronger and control it. Naruto tried to not use the nine-tailed fox, or I guess he unintentionally would use the nine-tailed fox because, well, no, he didn't use the nine-tailed fox. The Uzumaki clan just has a very high natural chakra reserve. Then also Luffy doesn't have a demon in One Piece, but like, even in JJK, like, Yuji was never trying to work to use Sukuna's power. And I'll end that statement where I'll end it because I realize I almost said some manga spoiler shit. Garo in One Punch Man was never a villain, but a broken man who wanted to become a hero and protect a little kid. Or rather, yo, by the way, what's good, Koi? I appreciate you for being here, bro. Garo was a broken man, yes, but like, Garo was just different. That's all. There's nothing wrong with being different. What Garo's whole thing is that like, everybody always cheers for the villain or for the hero to win, and Garo was like, yo, like, why can't the villain win sometimes too? Like, if you think about it, in a lot of shows you watch, bro, like, heroes are a little out of pocket sometimes. Cause like, sometimes a hero will look a villain in the face and go, yo, I know that like somebody murdered your entire family and you have nothing left, but that's no reason to be a bad guy. Like, that does sound kind of fucking crazy sometimes. Sometimes villains are absolutely justified. And funny enough, JJK changed my opinion on those villains that are like just evil to be evil. Cause like, I used to hate that shit. I'm just like, you're just evil to do it, you fucking loser. Go get some purpose in your life. But I'm like, yo, you look at like Sukuna, and like Sukuna's like that love of the game, bro. I'm evil because I love this. I love the shit I do, bro. I love pillaging. I love trampling these motherfuckers. But like, he was so like, the reason why I like Sukuna's brand of evil is because even when Sukuna would be pushed to a point where he is forced to have a change of heart, he still is kind of like iffy about it. Like, I guess I'll have a change of heart, but like, honestly, who knows, bro? If I feel like it. Like, Sukuna is the power scale in JJK, bro. Like, you can't. It's hard to define the power scale themselves. I don't know. As a character, like, Sukuna as a character was wonderful in my opinion, but also he was the power scale. So Sukuna, even though he was personified literally as a character, Sukuna is also kind of like this idea, this concept of what like the truest state of a jujutsu sorcerer is. Literally, you know what? I'm not even gonna fully elaborate because some of the stuff I'm gonna say is like stuff you would only know if you read the manga. But yes, I love Sukuna. Sukuna's probably my favorite character from JJK. I'll be honest. By the way, chat, nobody asked, but we were talking about Digimon earlier because I said Digimon, that was my show as a kid. My favorite Digimon of all time is Vmon. Vmon is a chill guy. And I love Digimon Adventure. What's your favorite part of Digimon? Not all that new bullshit, but I'm talking about from season 1 to season 5 of Digimon, right? Season 1 of Digimon is Digimon Adventure. Season 2 of Digimon is a part that had Vmon, Digimon Adventure Part 2, I guess, with a new set of kids, but they were still in the digital world. Then you have Digimon Tamers, which was Season 3, which had Gilmon, Renamon, and Terriermon? The rabbit with the big ears. But, like, that was... Oh, I remember Impmon. Like, bro, I need to get back on my Digimon rewatch. Honestly, I'm off from work tomorrow. By the way, guys, if you're in here, I will go ahead and be transparent with anybody who's watching this right now. I'm probably gonna end the stream pretty soon here because I thought I had people coming to play Smite with me, but like it's not the last stream. This is the second stream actually for the second day in a row. So like I don't like to count the streak of like streaming. I think that looking at things for the streak versus what you're actually doing is kind of like Duolingo, right? And in Duolingo, you kind of don't really learn the language that you're learning. You kind of just hop in and half-ass a lesson just to keep your streak so you can tell people that you're learning a language, right? But like, what's a better way to acquire a language? Actually, sorry, I was looking for my Japanese textbook and notebook. They're over there. But like, the better way to study a language is to actually get like textbooks and look at the actual basic grammatical like rulings for it, because there is no electronic. What's the word I'm looking for? There is no electronic indicator that gives you dopamine when you say you just increased your streak. All that's there is you, that pen, that paper, and that textbook. That is the best way to learn without any extra instant gratification in between. Like, you'll have your gratification from getting the question right after trying it over and over again, but it's like, yeah, man. That's why I don't like to look at my streams as, oh, I've streamed this many days in a row. Because some days I am going to need a break. Some days I'm going to work hella hours. Like, what y'all know about me is what I put in the videos, what I tell y'all on these streams. But it's like, when I'm not on screen, y'all don't really know what's happening unless I update you, right? So it's just like, you never know. I could have a bad shift or something like that. And I am very much a big understander. That's not a word. But I understand very well that energy transfers very easily, and I'm a very energetic guy. Not like I'm always ready to go do something, but like I understand that my energy travels a lot further and a lot easier than I expect it travels sometimes. So say I get off of work and I have a bad shift and I don't stream. That's because I don't want to give y'all, because bro, who knows who could have gave me that shitty energy while I was at work. But what I do know 100% is, for all of y'all who watch me and support me on my streams and watch my videos, y'all do not deserve any negative energy from the dead man. The dead man loves y'all. We are a family. This is a community, bruh. Death Note is a really good anime. I have to watch it. My bartender, actually, her son is trying to get her to watch Death Note. To give perspective, my bartender's like 11 years older than me, and then her son, she has one son that's 12, and then another son who's like 10. And they're like, the older son likes anime and manga, and I literally bought her son a manga before. I'm like, yo, get this. I was like, yo, I was out and about buying some soccer balls, and the bookstore is right beside the sports store, or the sport. Yeah, I guess it would be a sports store. And I just went in there real quick to look, because I'm trying to put that man onto real sauce. I'm trying to give her son ball knowledge. I'm trying to get him a volume of Black Clover. And I couldn't find Black Clover in there, or volume 1 of Black Clover. So instead, I found Blue Exorcist, and I got him the first volume of Blue Exorcist. And I'll be honest with you, chat. I actually used to have a pretty big manga collection, and then I sold my entire manga collection because I needed the money, and plus, I'm gonna buy it all over. It does not matter. Like, I'm one of those kind of manga enjoyers. For me, collecting manga is like gacha games in real life. Like, not only do I enjoy having the physical copies, not only do I like to pick up my physical copies and just read through them instead of looking on my computer screen sometimes, because blue light destroys your eyes over time, but also I enjoy just going to different locations, different bookstores, and just seeing if they have the manga in the first place. Like, I love collecting manga in every aspect. But right now, all I have is the first volume of Black Clover and the first volume of Four Nights of the Apocalypse, which is the after story of Seven Deadly Sins. I'm honestly thinking about giving her son both of these, just because I now realize it's more cost effective to buy mangas in box sets. In Black Clover, you can literally buy it in 2 different box sets right now for like majority of the books, and then maybe you have to buy like one leftover volume, right? But like, yeah, I'm just like, I'm willing, because if I buy the box set, which is more cost effective, I'm gonna have an extra copy of volume 1 anyway. So I'm like, let me just give this man my copy. I'm gonna autograph this shit for my man. I'm gonna autograph this shit for little man, for real. I'm gonna autograph this shit, and then literally I'm gonna be famous, more famous than anybody this motherfucker ever knows. And he's gonna be like, yo, guys, by the way, you guys are fucking losers because the dead man didn't personally give you a fucking signed manga back when he was like fucking younger and working with my mom. How about that? Right? That's a crazy flex, bro. That's a crazy flex. Autograph your shit, give it to the youth, let them sit on that shit for value later on, bro. But I'm also thinking about giving him my volume of Four Nights the Apocalypse as well, because I love Four Nights, and honestly, I would buy all 7 Deadly Sins in I'll buy all 7 Deadly Sins in box sets, and I'll buy all 4 Nights in box. I love 4 Nights. That shit is fire, bro. And I'm just like, fun fact, his mom actually loves 7 Deadly Sins. Probably not her favorite anime, but like, that's the one we always like just talk about, bond over and shit. And I always pull up on her and I'm like, do you care about spoilers? And I'm always telling her about the shit that's going on in 4 Nights. And she's always just like so interested. And plus, I remember when I was younger, I remember we used to have like, we didn't even have manga in my school library. I used to have to go to the public library across the street from where I lived and check out manga and then read it. And I used to bring it to school and read it. And I remember people used to pick on me for the dumbest shit. Oh my God. One day somebody was like, what are you reading, bro? And I was like, it's manga. It's like Japanese. And like, I'm like that type of person where I'm just like for instance, this old lady I worked with earlier, she was talking about like bullying and how bullying is dangerous for kids. And I was like, I'll be honest with you, it's crazy how kids can't get bullied if they don't accept that shit. And I was just like, bro, 7 Deadly Sins is a good anime, but it ruined the 4 Koa and they made the 7 Deadly Sins side characters. Well, read the latest chapter. That's all I'll say. But anyway, I'm just like, bro, like somebody tried to bully me in middle school, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing right now, dude? Like, can you really be bullied when the person who's trying to bully you, you look at them like, what the fuck are you doing? You're like a fucking idiot right now. Right? All of a sudden, they just realize how stupid they look. Because bullying is stupid. You're different from me. Or you like something different from me, and I'm going to try to make you feel bad about it. Who's making you feel bad at home about yourself, bro? Who's making you feel bad at home about yourself? That's the only reason why you're going out into public and trying to make other people feel bad, because you feel bad about your life. I'm sorry I can't help you because we're both like the same age and I don't have the resources to help you, bro, but like, hopefully you feel better. I don't know. Like, I can see through the bullshit very quickly, right? When somebody tries to insult you for something that they don't like about you, really they're just insulting you for an aspect they don't like about themselves, and they're projecting. And really they're just having a conversation with themselves out loud. But I'm the type of person, bro, I will see that shit very clearly and I'll flip that shit back on you and be like, nah, bro, that's a you problem. You gotta deal with that shit. I'm fucking awesome. Then I'll walk away, bro. I actually do that little laugh in real life. I do that shit a lot when I'm shitting on people. But literally, or when I'm deflecting people, I guess. But literally, I remember when I was younger, and I used to be into manga, and like literally, even now to this day, my sister and my mom still look at me. Well, my mom doesn't. My mom is the chillest person ever, dude. Like literally, y'all think I'm chill? My mom, she'll put the pressure on you if she has to. But my mom, she is a super chill person. My sister, she's a little bit judgmental. My sister will judge. Like I said, me and my sister are very similar. I'm very judgmental sometimes, and I don't even mean to be. But like, my sister will hear me listening to Japanese music in the shower, because she visits sometimes. My sister will hear me listening to Japanese music in the shower, and she'll literally like, she'll be like, are you listening to like Japanese rock in the bathroom? And I'm just like, yeah, what's the problem? And I'll just look at her, and she'll be like, oh, nothing. And I'll be like, yeah, okay. But it's just like somebody, I remember one day I was reading Naruto, and they looked at me and they're like, what are you reading? And I was like, it's manga. And can you believe this idiot was trying to pick on me because I was reading the manga from right to left instead of left to right? So I was just like, you're picking on me because of something that people in another nation determined? You, my friend, are what they call a fucking Neanderthal. Get out of my face, dude. And funny enough, that same guy used to feel very threatened by me whenever he got like one of his girlfriends in middle school, because like she used to love talking to me, man. That shit, that's how it always goes, bro. Karma is a crazy lady, but karma loves me, bro. Yeah, they were rage bait. I was like, what? And it didn't even work. I was like, what are you fucking talking about, dude? You are insane. Get out of here, dude. Like, now I know how to address those situations. Now when people walk up to me and say things like that, I say, hey bro, could you do me a favor and get my dick out of your throat? I don't roll like that. Thanks. And then I'm just like, carry on. Right? That's how I am now. So I'm just like, clearly you just wanted to talk to me. I understand now that when people pull up and they rage bait you, realistically, they just want you to talk to them because they feel like you're a more interesting person. But I've understood now. That's why I'm very silent with people now. That's why I don't say much whenever I'm like out in public. Because I'm just like, when somebody initially tries to communicate with me and they say some stupid shit, I pretty much just don't acknowledge them. And then when they ask me, like, you're just going to ignore me? I'm just going to be like, I know you want my attention. I know you want to talk to me. And I know you're dying to talk to me. But there was a much better way to approach me. So until you learn better ways to talk to people, I don't got to talk to you, bitch. And then I just kind of like walk off. I'm a very snarky individual, but for good reason. Because I don't waste my time, dude. It's such a... Wasting time is a waste of time. As stupid as that sounds, some people don't understand that. Some people waste their time on purpose. I'm like, wasting your time is a waste of time. An absolute waste of time. But guys, that's going to be it for the Dead Man's Rambles. Tomorrow, because I'm off tomorrow. Tomorrow, maybe we'll actually play some games and not just yap for 2 hours. An hour and a half. Honestly, I enjoyed this yap. This was literally just, bro, this is why I come and stream to see y'all, bro. Because, like, y'all want to see the game sometimes. Yeah, I know. But, like, we're on, bro, y'all already know how it is. Y'all are playing the same game, bro. Like, y'all know we're already a week into this Geen event. And y'all know that, like, most of the people playing the game have already grinded this shit out. Or whoever doesn't want to grind this shit out has already turned the game off, bro. So it's like, I just like to yap sometimes, bro. But, no, seriously, though. I think my homies are off tomorrow. I'm not sure. But actually, the one I was talking to on the phone earlier, he did say he will be down for some video games tomorrow. So I know I have at least one person to play with Smite. Yo, like, guys, y'all, I know y'all may not enjoy Smite or something like that, man. But, like, tomorrow when I'm streaming, if I put on Smite, just tap in and just watch, bro. We're a bunch of characters. We enjoy the game, and we're pretty good at the game. So, like, sometimes you will see some I don't think anybody said this in years, but, like, sometimes you will see some absolute MLG tier shit, man. So, like, come check us out tomorrow, man. That's going to be it for your boy, Deadman Vince. I do appreciate you guys all for being here. And guys, also, I just want to shout them out since they were in the chat. I love a community of content creators who support each other. Definitely go check out that man, Hakikage YouTube. My boy plays Bleach Soul Resonance as well. But he also plays JJK Phantom Parade too. And maybe another game that I can't think of. He plays that One Piece game too. And also check out the Goat Slugger or Lord Slug on YouTube if you're looking for him. But yeah, man, check out the homies on YouTube, bro. We are just a community of chill dudes who like to play video games and talk anime, man. So you guys watching us keeps us able to do what we do on screen all the time, man. And again, I do appreciate you. And all of us appreciate you, man. Yeah, you guys have an excellent night. And it's not New Year's anymore. We're halfway through January, but make this year count. I don't know, man. Make every day count. Peace out. The Dead Man does love you. And the Dead Man once again forgot to get the get the end stream button on standby. But yeah, now we're out. Peace out.